Welcome, one and all. It is day number 3 of the Amateur Arena presented by AOE Esports. My name is DJ. I am joined on the desk today by Parth and Dios. Gentlemen, welcome to the desk. Welcome to Amateur Arena. How are you feeling tonight?
I'm feeling good. Excited to see the prospects of North America, our future.
That should be a fun set of games, especially after everyone's watched the first World Groups games. So we'll see if anyone picks up Yumi or any crazy strats today.
Was gonna say we do have it has been a long day of League of Legends. Gentlemen. We do have a lot of picks. 8 games earlier today, 3 more to cap off the day, but a big swing in player personnel. We have the Amateur Arena once again as our third day. We have some returning names and some new names. So let's take a look at those amateur players who are preparing for the 2022 season with these off-season in-houses. Today on the blue side to start, we will have 4 teams Strompest. Gamsu in the top lane, Matty in the jungle, Strompest in the mid lane, Kyle Short Hop in the AD carry position, Trevor Roy in the support slot. On the other side of things, going to have Srtty in the top lane, LeenK in the jungle, CptShrimps in the mid lane, Sketchdreams at the AD carry position, and Breezy bringing it up in the support role. That's who we're checking out today. So here we are on the analyst desk. Just want to open it up to start. Gentlemen, anything you're really looking forward to or excited about with this group of players, with some of the champions we've seen today? What are you looking forward to?
You want to lead, Parth? You got something in mind?
Sure. So, I used to watch Gamsu play back in the day before he swapped and now came back. It was really cool to see his run through the Proving Grounds. And it'll be cool to see kind of an experienced player like that match up against Srtty. I think they have pretty distinct champion pools. Srtty has a good spread. So, especially in the new meta, there's a lot of carries being played top. So, we'll kind of see how they match up. It should be a fun one.
For me, I'm pretty interested in seeing how these mid 2v2s go head to head. Matty Strompest on Supernova and CptShrimps and LeenK. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, I got that little bit of a Cloud9 amateur versus Supernova going on here, as you mentioned. So you got Breezy in the bottom lane for CptShrimps team. So a lot of connections for these players and these teams today. But something we were talking about in the buildup is some of the kind of champion picks that we saw in the meta for Worlds. And we were wondering whether that was going to affect our or our players today, right? We're on 1120. Worlds is on 1119. Do you guys expect any of those sort of crazier picks to come through today?
Mm. I mean, to be honest, I don't think Trevor or Breezy have been known for their Yumi play, but I'm pretty excited to see if they pull it out. Maybe they'll ban it. Like, it's one of those champions where people are like, oh God, here we go again. It's either getting perma-played or it's perma-banned, but I'm expecting some support egos here. I'm expecting a gentleman agreement. No Yumi, only hook champs. We got to make it happen.
Oh, I like to hear that. Parth, any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I don't think either of them are big Yumi players, but I think another big one is like Lucian and Nami. So we'll see if like one of them opts into Nami and like takes that kind of matchup. I think it also depends on like their AD carries and what they're comfortable with. I know Sketchdreams is more of a player who likes to play like late game carries. So yeah, it definitely should be fun. I mean, again, I think top lane is like a really exciting one to look at. We've seen Graves top, seen some Fiora. So yeah, it should. If anyone's gonna bring something like that out, I think I expect Srtty to. So
Yeah, we have certainly seen Srtty pull out those kind of champs before. Parth, very, very aggressive for EGP. He loves his pushing aggressive top laner, things that give him agency, and bit of a dichotomy up against the experience of Gamsu, who played a lot of weak side 400x and 100
Mhm.
Academy at times, but it's not like he can't play other roles. I think it's just what the team needed. Do you expect to see a similar kind of dichotomy between these two players in their matchup tonight?
I think so. I mean, whenever like a player kind of makes a resurgence and comes back, you always kind of go back to what's comfortable. And I think, especially for top lane, if you're an experienced player, the tank bruiser role makes a lot of sense. I know Gamsu played like a game of Jax or something to counter pick. So yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see what he pulls out against Srtty in this current meta.
Well, speaking of that matchup, it looks like our players are ready for the draft. Waiting just on blue side to ready. I know we've had some draft little issues before, so just gonna wait to see the first ban come through. And it looks like we are getting the reset on the link. So give us one more second here. We do have our first ban, so I will throw it to Parth and Dios here to walk us through the first draft of our set of 3.
Oh, Lucian already banned away from CptShrimps.
Okay, give me a sec. I couldn't find it. I found it now.
Oh,
We're
there we
good.
go.
Yeah.
Okay, we got it. Yep.
My
Yeah,
bad.
I mean, just knowing Sketchdreams, I think it was a pretty reasonable ban. I don't think he's like a player who's gonna really opt into Lucian. And I know Lucian maybe can be flexed to mid too, if Strompest is still doing that. So probably a solid ban.
Oh, there's the Yumi
Ooh,
ban.
Let's
Stevie ban.
go. We needed that. We needed that. Everyone needed that.
Okay, now
I
this is
think.
pretty interesting. Oh, sorry to
Go
cut you
first.
off.
No,
Yeah,
you're good.
I just see a lot of MS first pick, right? And it really interests me on what people want to opt into it. Like I've seen the Ezreal, I've seen the Ziggs. I want to see the Draven, right?
Mhm.
Because usually from that pick onwards, it kind of dictates what style you're going for, and it looks like we're looking to obliterate Ballin. I love to see it.
Yeah. This is Shrimps on the red side, right? Like, yeah, I'm
Yeah,
excited to see Sketch on something like Draven. It shows that he's kind of expanded his pool. He's already proven himself in like Paleos and Jings, and those are like his
yeah.
staples and interest. But we'll see if him and Breezy can kind of stomp this lane.
Okay, there's the Lilia coming out. I'm assuming this is them trying to, or I guess expecting it to match the Graves to the jungle. Maybe it could be
Mhm.
top. I mean, I'm not entirely sure. There's been some talk about Lilia top within like the
Mhm.
collegiate amateur sphere, but we'll see if this matchup is good. They can't really hold the flex all the way until the final pick, so we shall see. I'm expecting probably a Leona here. There it
Yep,
is.
there it is. I mean, this is definitely a really strong combo for bot lane. I mean, Leona, I think, has one of the highest win rates and the highest presence at Worlds right now, and don't think there were any changes to the bot lane meta that are going to push her out. So I think this is definitely a pretty solid core on the left side. I think if they do lock in Braum, which they do, I think what they have really going for them on the red side is anytime Graves and Braum kind of work together, if you can play like a slow fight, it's a really potent combination for like 2v2s or 3v3s. And it also allows them to do any like invades they want because Braum level 1 with Graves is really strong. So we'll see if they try anything level 1 with this.
Mhm. What I want to see from the blue side at the moment is betting out the strong mid lane skirmishing options. Draven Braum as a duo or Draven in general, they want to receive a lot of pressure, right? And on the blue side, it's a bit harder to guarantee a strong winning top lane champion where they can make cross map plays. So they're kind of in a position where ideally they'd like to match the pressure bottom and prevent it from snowballing. And I don't know if Gamsu can pull out like the Jace that they could play cross map, but we'll see. We'll see.
Hmm. And on the other side, when you're looking at red side comp right now, they already have like a good synergy between the 3 champions, but they don't really have a lot of crowd control. Whereas on blue side, you have Lilia, you have Leona, and so I'm hoping on red side they kind of balance this out with some CC from either top or mid, or I guess it really depends on where the Graves is going.
Mhm.
The Rumble
I
ban.
actually, I think the Rumble event's a target event towards Shrimps for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Yon ban and the Kshan ban. I'm wondering now if the red side really believes that this Lily is going to be jungle and they're just banning out Strompest's mid lane AD pool with Lucian, Akshan, Yon gone. I'm not sure what he's
Yeah.
going to pick. Alio.
I think the Galio is a good ban if you think the enemy team might. I mean, Galio is like a good combo with Graves because he provides the CC, and maybe they also want to cut away like a potential Camille Galio 4 or 5.
The Olaf for the Kazakhs.
Ooh,
Kindred.
that does mean if they lock one of these in, it's a Graves top.
Or mid. Srtty can play a pretty mean Camille. Or sorry, not Camille, Cannon. Well, it's Karthus, so.
Okay. This
To
is
be honest,
definitely
I'm
a
not sure how I feel about it.
It's definitely a LeenK special. Yeah, I mean, I think they're going more for like the pressure kind of kite back kind of comp, which is fine, but they're very very low on CC right now. So if they do end up falling behind, I'm really afraid of like what options they have in the game.
Mhm. What I'm expecting now from red side is they're not gonna play around the Draven Braum per se. They're just gonna pick another top laner with priority, and they're just gonna play to perma invade with the Karthus, is what it seems like to me.
Mm-hmm. I think TF is like a strong choice. It does give a good 2v2 for mid jungle for red, especially when you're going against LeBlanc, Lilia, which are both magic damage. So I think if they get priority with the 2v2, it's gonna let TF roam a lot more. I would be a little afraid if they put block and Cassidin, but I think TF is a better choice. And I think these are two signature picks for both mid laners. I think Strompest very much comfortable with LeBlanc, and I think Shrimps like TF, Galio, Rumble were like his staples. And I think just because he has TF left and he has a Graves top, I think it's a pretty solid choice.
What do you think about this top lane matchup so far? Anything you're interested in?
I'm always apprehensive when I see things like Graves top because when you're like playing scrims and it looks bloody and it can snowball and look really good.
Mhm.
But I think with like a roster like this, he can definitely get kited pretty easily or blown up. So it's really up to Srtty to see what he can do.
Yeah, I think it's kind of funny. We had the whole old blood versus new blood dynamic, and we have
Mhm.
Gamsu playing that old staple of Gnar, and then Srtty pulling out
Yeah,
the fresh out of world's Graves pick. So really nice. If
yeah,
you want to
it's
break
kind
down
of
these like icons. Oh, you go, you
yeah. I
go.
mean, it's
Sorry.
it's it's definitely what I kind of expected. Like Gamsu, I expected like Renekton, Gnar, like Ornn, something like that to come out because I think he played those kind of champions really well, like in Proving Grounds just last
Mhm.
month. Whereas Srtty's always been someone who like tries all of the crazy new picks, and so I'm not surprised if he saw Graves top at Worlds and he's just like, "This looks fun. Let me try it."
Can't wait to pull it out.
Yeah. I mean, I do think that on the red side, the comp is balanced in a way where like you have three like ranged like auto attack dealing or auto attack based champions with Braum. The synergy is really good. But again, like if you don't have the TF gold card, their engage is really low. And it makes it really easy for the blue team, especially in team fights, to like flank, go around, lock people down, set people up for MFLD. And so I think it's like the red side, I feel like it's a lot more high execution unless like
Mhm.
the lanes just naturally win and the TF gets rolling.
And I'm happy that you mentioned the level of execution because when we're thinking purely in terms of like solo queue lobbies, because this is kind of what it is, right? We're pulling out the best solo queue players within our region and we're making a spectacle out of it so they can show their skill. Ease of execution comes in when you don't really have that much experience between your
Mhm.
members. Yes, we can say that Strompest and Matty have been together, CptShrimps and Breezy, but it's not enough, right? That's not how teamwork is. It's not two players, three players, it's five players. So if I were to make my vote, I got my money on blue side. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I definitely think the blue side is something that's again easier to play and works really well. But I'd be way more excited if the red side ends up like putting up a good show, you know, because whenever you see, at least for me, when I watch competitive games, the high execution comms, like if you have something like Graves Top or Carthage Jungle and you have a TF roaming around the map, it makes it like a more hectic, chaotic, exciting game. And it's, I hope to see more of that.
Oh yeah, for sure. When I see red side comp, it just speaks to me. It's like we believe that we're better than you. We're gonna match you with skill matchups across the board, and we're going to play this style where if we get our lead early game, we will just snowball it out of control. And it doesn't matter if you're playing a more team fight cohesive comp, you're not gonna make it to
Mhm.
that stage where they're winning lanes. Well, not
Yep.
necessarily winning for TF LeBlanc, but definitely side lanes, which is what
Yeah,
TF
for sure.
wants. We just keep on going. Okay, okay.
Cool. Let's break.
Nice.
welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Esports AOE's Amateur Arena. We're going to be taking you through the first game here of Strompest versus Shrimps. I'm going to be your play-by-play caster for the night here, as well, joined by my lovely color in quite a long time, Mr. Axeman.
What's up, Zephyr? What's up, guys? Axeman87, and yeah, I love those team names. Strompest versus the Shrimps here. Starting out early with the Strompest, going for a little bit of an invade.
Getting a little bit more from the Shrimps here. Now, it is spotted out directly once again there from Kyle here on the red side. So I don't think they're going to have much of an opportunity, but this takes advantage of a little bit of the execution you can play through with that early kind of Braum lockdown with the concussive blows. But either way, they're not going to find much of that. Get some information provided, but they are completely visualized on both ends. So info traded for info.
Very true there, and you like to get that early info, that early tracking on champions like Lilia, who have such a broad pathings as far as just the early jungle goes. You have Lilia pathings that go up into your Raptors, all that early counter jungling, even as early as level 2. So getting that tracking down, super important for them here. Lilia gonna end up starting up topside here. Nope, just gonna invade. Gonna have to walk over a ward for it. This is what I was talking about.
Well, they've got that information. What they do with it, we'll have to wait and see. It's going to be at the behest here of LeenK to make moves at any given point. But for now, it's not going to be punished just yet here. We'll have to wait and see what his rotation off of red is. For now, though, Breezy and Sketchdreams quite close to tower here, unable to find the kind of lockdown they want there with the bite. But either way, asserting their dominance right off the bat.
Zephyr is going to be fireworks down here in the bot lane from the outset, right? Two very early game champions in those AD carry roles, and some pretty hefty engaged supports as well. Braum going in, Leona going in, and it should all come to a head here at level 2 in just a little bit.
Absolutely, and we talked a little bit, or my apologies, it was Parth and Deus. I don't want to take too much credit from them at all, but they discussed a little bit of how the Shrimps roster here does need to find some early game presence, because when it comes to ease of access, it is a rollover comp, and so getting that advantage will take some time.
Certainly will there, but Sketchdreams and Breezy crashing these waves in. You
LeenK
have
too.
LeenK, yeah, showing up there around the bottom side. I'm not expecting the dive. Could just be the card that's look. Actually, maybe I don't know anything.
Little poke, gives
Yeah,
himself
they're kinda
away there in
closing
terms
in.
of info, but unable to find that dive, like you said there. And also, we saw low in the top, but looking like Srtty here, taking some damage as Gamsu finds his transformation into that Mega Gnar form. And I am curious how this lane will work out here. Typically, Srtty, more of an aggressive style top laner, so Graves definitely plays into that favor, but it's not going to be that easy of a matchup for him to find his footing here. So that rotation, playing around maybe something like LeenK or coming through on one of these other lanes, possibly Shrimp with Destiny, will be a big part. But for now, it's Matty in a teleport under turret. There's the TP response there. Matty with a little bit of burst. Strompest trying to move forward, but like I said, it's Shrimps with a great response to prevent any further dive.
Double teleports there from the mid laners. No level 6 from either of them, so no Destiny for Captain Shrimps there, but you know, he's got the teleport at level 1. He's going to use it to counter Strompest on that dive, neutralize the play. That's going to give Srtty a lot more time to try and stabilize here in this top lane. It's not looking too good for him so far. But as for our junglers, things looking pretty even. No objectives on the map yet. They traded 1-for-1 on Scuttle Crabs, which is nice. You don't want to be giving an early lead to either of these junglers, really. Arthas really gets pretty scary with a head of steam there, but both sides looking for this dragon early. We talked about that bot side early game priority. Both lanes have it here, and they want to turn that into dragons.
Definitely a possibility here. I am very interested to see how this Sketch and Breezy lane does transform here, because that is a massive advantage in terms of control here. It does not feel like Kyle or Trevor Roy have ever had the opportunity to really step into this lane, and you can't blame them. Draven Braum early, out of place, out of time is something that they'll find themselves. But as for the top lane here, Srtty finally making the moves he wants to see out of himself, but the response from a boomerang like this might not be enough, actually. A good first blood found here onto the Graves, and that's exactly what we were waiting for.
Oh yeah, I was not expecting that from Srtty, but we'll call it an outplay, I think. Comes back in off the reset with the Vampiric Scepter and turns that, into a kill.
It's a big TP. Boomerang a chunk and one more auto. He blasts back just a bit further to make sure he doesn't go down anytime soon. But already look at the health of Gamsu there, just coming back to lane. Not much to work with.
Not much to work with whatsoever. He's going to have enough time to push one of these waves out, and then you got to think about resetting, right? You're staying in this lane. You have Srtty coming back in, with full health. And 2 additional longswords.
Presumably.
And things go from bad to worse. Hey, man, sometimes you run out early. Sometimes you got to get there, and you got 3 quarters.
You know, I make my way out of Fountain. I take a camper too. I come back to lane with only 25 remaining. Speaking of remaining, there might not be much left remaining here. Sketchdreams aggressed upon. I like the concussive blows response on Trevor to slow the roll here. Matty with a good bowling ball to burn him out, but nothing much further as LeenK is through the lane to lane to try to slow this one up here. Now, unable to find the kills he wants, but the poke here from that burst of AP, but a big stun to return to chunk out and delete what is the Shrimps jungler, but it's not at the cost of jungle v jungle. Now the turnaround with the Zenith Blade from Trevor to make it 2 for 1 here. Now in the mid lane though, big stun golden card. Shrimps is out, it's clear and 5.
Trevor rolling with the moves there, Zephyr. 101 off of that play. Here's a replay for you. Sketchdreams was already super low, but it was Kyle that was pretty low there as well. Matty trying to pressure. Flash forward from Trevor. Fantastic play. Down goes LeenK. Down goes Matty as well for the effort, but Breezy just walks up too far to that bush, too close there, and Zenith Blade going to catch him out.
I was gonna say, Breezy losing a little bit of the tracking there as he doesn't catch Trevor make that rotation into that bush. You see him step up, you see him go for the control ward immediately, but at that point, it was just too late there. The Zenith Blade came through, making that a quick 2 for 1 there. So finally, a nice response out of the Strompest side. I didn't want a complete wipe here from Shrimps because we were discussing, of course, in that early draft, if they do get the opportunity to roll, they will take full and complete advantage of it. So now, a little bit more even out, but that doesn't change the fact that the gold still is heavily allotted here onto Sketchdreams.
It really is stacked exactly where you want it to be, right? But you saw individual gold back and forth, barely even across the board, right? Very close game between 2 teams. See Gamsu up top. He's about to go Mega Gnar, which is why I'm kind of pausing here. I don't know if he's going to all in or what's going to happen, but he's going to clear this wave out, and we'll see what he does after that. But meanwhile, red side over here for the Shrimps, looking to try and get this dragon. Right. Doesn't seem like there's going to be any contest here as the reset comes through from Kyle. It's rough. I mean, you're picking MF for that bottom priority. You're losing so hard to Draven. They had a good play, just a couple minutes ago, but by and large, they don't have priority in the spot side. And Matty's kind of standing there like, hey, we drafted this bot lane. We're not getting what we needed out of it. We're going to start losing these dragons. And it kind of feels like they're hemorrhaging around the bottom side of the map.
I will say give them time here. I think it's not as complex as letting it go completely to the wayside just as of yet here. You can go for a little bit trade. I like the response. They turn around, they go for the rift in for themselves here, and that's what you need to see to make sure that you're not actually bleeding out in any regard whatsoever, because the mid game is where the strength of the Strompest side will really come to full fruition here. Their team fight presence and the ease of access, they come through, and it's quite a quick lineup for them. So that's what I'm hoping for, those small windows of action around that 15 to 20 minute mark. That's when we might see that turnaround. At the end of the day, gold continues to assume. Big flashes though, double in the mid lane there for both mid laners. Oh, speak of the devil, Breezy going in with his own flash deep to find what is Kyle there. Nice. Trevor was able to walk out for some time being, but there's plenty of health available to juggle this one out there. The first turret shots starting to tick down as it's going to be a double here for LeenK on that choice pick of the Karthus. Meanwhile though, topside potential dive. That wave though is looking a little bit too low, and a Destiny to follow with a flash over the wall. Blind slowed here, a big card toss. Not quite enough, but Srtty's not going to let this deer go out to the fields. Continues the chase down. The collateral damage though, a big whiff on the end, so they're gonna have to give that one up. A lilting lullaby in response. Strompest those on that backside could capitalize any moment. One quick dash, one quick Q, and one quick burst here to delete Srtty.
Great look there from Strompest roaming up to the top side, following their laner. It doesn't have Destiny, but he can right click up there and eventually gets up, able to take down the Grave. Srtty just in the dirt after that play. That ultimate expertly dodged by Matty, I'll go ahead and say. That collateral damage was about to do tons of damage to Lilia, and no, I'm just gonna sidestep that real quick. Srtty comes back on the map, almost has teleport back up, so he's gonna have to get there the hard way.
The craziest thing is if that collateral damage did manage to land out there, there would have not been the lilting lullaby to prevent the rotation from coming out of Srtty. Now, either way, past the top side exposure there, we do see a great presence though out of LeenK now, the Shrimps, and this was a pick that we actually saw out of LeenK this last residing amateur games, and he played it through what was the first game. Now I'm not quite sure how it did fare, but I believe it was shut down eventually into the later games and phases, but it still held heavy presence here, so giving those 2 kills over already, it doesn't bode well either.
For sure, there's Zephyr, and he converts it immediately to a bunch of AP, which is going to help his Sork shoes hurt a little bit more there. And yeah, this guy's pretty scary going into the 11th minute of the game. Looking forward to what he can pull off as we push later. Looking for another dragon coming up in 2 minutes, something they could definitely play for. There's no insight to the dominant Sketchdreams and Breezy have laid down the bot lane so far. He's up like 25 CS, crazy numbers right now. Completed the mythic, got the boots going. Everything's coming up Sketchdreams so far, Zephyr.
Everything's coming up Sketchdreams. Now we're starting to approach that mid-game window. This is where we're supposed to see the real embers and flows of Strompest come to light here. You already see some of the major rotations as the teams are beginning to look more and more grouped. You already have Trevor and Matty looking to make a play here on to CptShrimps. That Glenn's already burst out. Solar Flare Zenith, and with 4 members and a bullet time over the wall, there's not much help for this pirate.
Great pick, great way to use the bullet time there too, trying to get that pick down with no objective coming up under that timer. They're going to drop the Rift Herald too, get lots of damage on this mid lane turret. I don't know if they're going to be able to cut through it entirely. You got LeenK coming up with Sketchdreams, going to be able to prevent that from going down fully, but still lots of good plate damage. Ooh, Matty
chunked out there. One more stack of concussive blows and that might be it, but not quite the lockdown that they need. Meanwhile, Srtty struggling once again. The bird gonna make his final sentence apparent. Now LeenK was able to secure that one off kill onto Matty with the Requiem, but now CptShrimps, he's looking for more here. A beautiful Destiny into that backline. You already see Gamsu punished out there from a rotation from Sketchdreams, and this Draven already looking super dangerous now.
And that's well done by Breezy to get the passive down there on the Q with for the stun from Sketchdreams, enabling him to get that final kill down. But yeah, it was just spread a little bit too thin there for the Strompest. Pushing into mid lane for some plating gold themselves now are the Shrimps. Looking for that second dragon too. Oh no. Oh no.
Unaware to the rotation. There's nothing here for Kyle.
Yeah, a little bit of a lane swap coming through there. Srtty shows up down the bot side for additional dragon pressure, but also because, they got that bot lane turret. It's time to lane swap. So Breezy and LeenK now starting this up. Should get it uncontested again here, Zephyr, and you got to stop the bleeding if you're Strompest. You got to start getting on these objectives. They took that Rift Herald, were able to drop it mid, not get the turret. That's good. You want the plating gold, but
you want control. There's more than just the plating.
Yeah, you definitely want control, and you have to stack up against the dragons that the enemy side is taking, and they're just not quite cutting the mustard yet. Strompest up top side. It's got Trevor in the wings, waiting to help him out as that lane swap continues to come through.
I like this, a little bit of the shadow, the protection, something to finally get some return here for the Strompest roster. This will be their first turret of the game if they manage to take down. I'm more than well assured that they're going to be able to do just that. So trying to shore up some of those weaknesses step by step. And that's what I like, because yeah, there has been some general bleeding, but we haven't seen the full strength of this composition come to light just quite yet here, but it doesn't change the fact that the win condition for Shrimps is already being fully ignited every step of the way. You've got your major carries looking better and better by the minute, and it's not going to be a chance that they really fall off. You just need to pull the trigger, whether it be on these dragons or on these catches, say in the mid lane. But yes, here we go. Bot lane dance, and whoa, Gamsu makes it look like a ball down here. It's a big return there with the collateral damage, but Mega Nar's coming out hot here. The Requiem is charging down to build out that little bit extra amount of damage, but he might be out just clean for maybe a little bit longer. But Srtty still wants to chase, and he finally secures the kill, even after such a great response there from Gamsu. Either way, on the top side, the Rift is in major contention here, and it is picked up, of course, by the Shrimp. Now responds with a big Glacial Fissure to continue the punishment. Sketchdreams with another kill for themselves here. Strompest, though, on the back end, maybe looking to punish Shrimps. It's a good gold card to prevent it from going that much longer. Meanwhile, on the bot side, a forced flash there out of Kyle.
Love that 1v1 down the bot side. We're going to see this Richo crash mid. Should be able to take this Srtty. That 1v1 down bot side, what enabled Srtty to win that was the collateral damage pushing him back into the bush, temporarily dropping the vision for him a little bit there, and breaking up the auto attacks from Gamsu.
Hold the thought here. LeenK, that's a bit deep there. A bullet time to make sure he's out of the running, but Shrimp is on the hunt here with a good gold card to lock down 2 here for the Shrimps roster. And watch Srtty. Srtty's been weighing bush down, sightline engaged. Strompest striking out.
That's just a good vision there from Srtty, predicting that back there. At least just pushing up to drop down that deep vision. Always good to get that down, and the pressure from Shrimps right now is so immense. They're continuing to push up top side now. The mid lane push earlier, and it's really just Gamsu able to push out this bot lane. It's the only thing really going for Strompest at the moment. That's a lot of pressure, and with all neutral objectives down now, should be a bit of a lull state. Maybe an opportunity for Strompest to push some of these lanes out. Try to get some
just
of that CS
something,
down here. Yeah, try to absorb some of the gold from the map.
I'll say it is definitely quite tough. We talked about major carries being enabled. It's at the point now, my apologies, where we do see some of those 1v1s no longer in necessity or just available whatsoever. And Gamsu did his darn best on the Gnar to try to stave off Srtty, but it didn't quite matter. And you saw how quickly he took that 1 kill and was able to put it even further, taking further control of this red side of the jungle, and then finding the additional kill in the Strompest much later on. So it's stuff like that that continues to assume more additional leads here for Shrimps as they just kind of chokehold what is the Strompest roster right now.
Definitely. I'd really like to see some heal cut come through from the Strompest. There's 2 Imperial Shield blows on the Shrimp side. Ooh, Matty slowed up, taking a lot of
chunked
over the wall. What was that, Zephyr? Jeez. I think that Dravenall might have killed him. I think if that connected, it might have killed him. But
we would have seen some venison.
Definitely. That bot lane turret's going to go down. Just so much pressure coming out. The Shrimps. Strompest going to try and trade back here. Should be able to.
More than likely going to find that one. Mind you, Destiny is going to be available sometime soon there if they want to make a collapse or play, but I don't think that's going to be in our future sites here. Either way, tier 2 for tier 2. It's definitely a little bit more balanced than some of the other plays we've seen thus far, but it isn't quite enough to put them back on the horse just yet.
And that's the issue with side lane LeBlanc, right? Is that most of the champions, enemy champions that are going to come for you, you could just one-shot them. Anybody else you can run from fairly easily, so very slippery champion, hard to lock down, and of course if you show up alone, you're going to be going down yourself. But dragon spawning now in 10 seconds. This is going to be easy for the Shrimps.
Should be. This is the one that I typically like to look at. First 2, I can give some leeway in giving that one over, but the third, that's when you start contesting. You really have to lock that one down. That's your sole point. And at this point, Mountain's already coming right on out, and nowhere to be seen. Matty and the rest of the squad looking to contest this one, so it's the 4th. In turn, though, Strompest on the upper side with Matty. They're looking to maybe find what is this inhib turret, but it's Captain punished out. A good TP, though, in response here as the burn continues to tick down, just barely keeping this man alive.
Yep, Srtty showing up there with the teleport, going to be able to clear that wave. They do get that 3rd dragon, and they are well on their way to the Dragon Soul here. There's been no answer from Strompest thus far. on that side of the map as far as objective control is concerned. It starts with vision, to be honest. You got to get it down, and I know it doesn't stay up if you don't have map control, but at least having tracking on the enemy champions is a good start towards getting that objective control down. Not quite sure what Strompest have to do at this rate to get back into this game. I think you set up, look for a pick, maybe on a Sketchdreams. I think that shutdown gold would be really nice for you here. Yeah, that'd be nice for you to pick up at this stage of the game for them.
Good luck, though. At this point, the grouping has already come through in full fruition. And at that point, you see that slow, you see that wall from LeenK. You're not going to be able to push through much either way. The bullet time is down. Breezy's taken out for the count. They haven't quite locked down Sketchdreams as he continues to pummel forward. There's a gold card and a Requiem as we see Srtty launch deep there. Trevor low, Strompest over the wall. Big burn, but no Zenith Blade. It's the Solar Flare that locks this squad down. Either way, though, a huge flash from Matty comes up moot as Sketchdream blows it apart there. LeenK wraps this one up, finding another kill on a Gamsu as they transition their way over to Baron.
Trevor Sketchdreams is massive on this Draven. I can't believe it, man. We don't see this champion anywhere. We've heard inklings that maybe he's good, but nobody's made that. Trevor. Trevor's about to make the leap. Yeah, down he goes.
Yeah. What kind of leap? Leap of faith? Not quite.
Yeah, not quite. Srtty picks up that kill on the back end. Still no deaths on Sketchdreams. Ooh, Strompest.
Already pinned out with a little bit of the concussive blows, bounces back, and he should be out, but he's into the hands of Sketchdreams. A big axe to start the chunk out, and sad for Breezy, but that ain't the right target, so more than likely Strompest should be on his way out, but he's got a lot to deal with here. Remember, LeenK and the rest of the squad are all right in your face here.
And there's just so much vision set up.
Back into the bush.
Breezy just has such a good handle. So much vision on this side of the map.
Oh! Forced to flash!
And he's still on wards, man. I think he's out now. But there was almost never a time during that whole scenario when he was not on enemy vision. Check out the red wards on that side of the map. This is what this team is doing so well in this game, especially, and we'll see as we move forward in this block. The vision difference is the biggest thing here. That's what's going to give you the info and give you the edge on these objectives. But pushing out now, yeah, they're just going to run it down mid, and they don't really have to do anything else. Zephyr, this Draven is so strong.
Oh, absolutely. They can play simply around that, and there's so much CC that enables them. And Sketchdreams is a monster when it comes to the decision making and positioning that he plays around here, because there's so many tools that Strompest could be taking advantage of for CC. You look at that Solar Flare, it's down, but that's not in the hands of Sketchdream. You look at that bullet time, he's walking his way out. A big stun, a big concussive blows, and one quick axe. Yes, Matty's golden, but not for long there. Srtty with the quick pickup, and that's one extra kill here into the Shrimp's hands. And oh, you've got to be careful. Gamsu and Trevor under the turret they go. You've got Kyle on the side, but Trevor's going deep, and it might be just punished out for such a heavy play there. Srtty with another pickup here as the Requiem is going to launch down. Now, yeah, that Nars Mega, but maybe not for long. A great response for the lock, but the Nars and under turret there, chunking this one out. One and done, they all go down. Strompest trying to make sure that they get Breezy, but either way, the Strompest roster has found quite the comeback.
Really has. Should be able to get Breezy here as well. Yeah, gonna go down there. And Gamsu. No, sorry, Strompest picks up that shutdown gold onto Sketchdreams. Here's the replay for you. Breezy stepping up with the shield.
Watch
down
Gamsu.
comes the Requiem. Yeah, and here comes Gamsu flying in there. Flash E with the ultimate to boot. Sketchdreams goes golden temporarily. Just enough time for Kyle to go down, but yeah, Strompest picks up that kill, gets Breezy as well. Huge injection of gold into their primary carry. So much damage coming out of Strompest now. He's 5-1-2. He's got like 4 items or something like that. So probably the only one on this team that could rival Sketchdreams in damage right now. And Sketchdreams, a player known for his teamfight positioning and made a reputation for himself on AoE this year. He's really showing us what he can do, but just a little bit of a misstep, and Gamsu punishes them. The ult comes through. Jeez, that's close.
Not quite close enough there. Breezy able to pick that one off on Matty. Now most of the work, of course, the axe is on the back, as now they make it 2 here. Maybe that fight was something of a fleeting hope here as now Captain steps up, the ward's down, but the back still manages to find that one back to Fountain. Either way, they grace their presence back to the bot lane into a big gold card concussive blow stun. Trevor with the Zenith Blade to push him back out. Spurge once again there with a big gnar into the wall. Now Strompest, that damage is huge and chunking, but it's not quite enough to beat out the rest of this roster. Meanwhile, Sketch and LeenK, they're wiping your mid.
One last ride there for Strompest. I don't know if he's going to be able to respawn here. There's a lot of damage coming out. They might just back off after this. There's some low health bars on the side of the Shrimps. Yeah, so they're going to take the reset. The pressure isn't really on for them, right? Sketchdreams is on Draven. He is falling off, but only technically. Everybody else on the team is scaling quite nicely, so there's really no timer here. There's really no, I don't know, there's no light at the end of the tunnel just as far as scaling goes for Stromps. Shrimps will basically be just this strong for the remainder of the game, even if we look at like a 35-minute game, something like that. You look at the Karthus getting much bigger, the Graves getting much bigger there too, and the global mobility from CptShrimps himself is going to be helping this team remain relevant as we push forward into this game. Gamsu was really the scaling option for this team alongside Strompest. And Gamsu's been super useful in the team fights with the Gnar, but he's still 1-5-4, right? So not quite a competent damage source there. It's really just Strompest putting out the damage. And
That's
that
fine.
is, yeah,
it seems like it works sometimes, and now it might be working even further. That's a great flash, but a lilting lullaby with the sleep there on the Sketchdreams. Matty to follow, but the rest of the squad is here to save the day. Matty punished out even in the face of less than 100 health there on the Sketchdreams. Now Strompest, the big dashing queen, gonna have to work her way out there. You see that one concussive blows, not quite able to launch down as a fissure comes out instead. LeenK here in the mid lane taking a bit of a hefty trade, but the 1v1 plays out quite into his favor. He's looking lower and lower. He's going to have to rely on his team, but they're not quite there quick enough. Either way, the damage continues to pump out here onto Gamsu. And
what?
A bit more than I thought, Axe.
Jeez, he actually one-shot a man. What the heck? The burn from Leandries finishes them off. That was wild, Zephyr. What is happening?
What a wicked way to finish. One quick pick turned wrong here, and now the Shrimps roster playing with their food under Fountain. They gotta be careful. They can definitely be punished out for a decision like this, but with one quick many autos, the Shrimps pick up the first game of the day.
Oh man. Oh man, that was a lot of damage from that Karthus. I'm still processing.
Yeah, that was a chunk.
That was like 1,000 damage, right? And then finish them off with a Leandries burn. Crazy damage coming out of the Karthus there, and really out of so many members of the Shrimps off of this game. Ironically, maybe CptShrimps having like the least like lustrous game there.
Having the namesake, but not quite the presence. But either way, he's still definitely there. We saw the presence come through on Destiny, whether it be ganking towards that top lane, securing what is the major presence for Srtty, securing that lane and giving him the dominance to put someone like Gamsu, who we just saw, in the position that he was. So can't quite catch him out just yet, Axe.
Yeah, no, not yet. But we'll be trying to. Game 2 is coming for you, CptShrimps. You get back on the holster. But no,
be nice. They already won the game.
Yeah, right. They did win the game. That's true. We'll be all right. We'll be fine. Yeah, it was almost a case of like too many chefs, not enough cooks. It was like everybody was carrying on Shrimps, right? So there's only so many kills on the board, but yeah, crazy game from Sketchdreams. The team fight positioning, you could see it, man. That guy's wild on the Draven. Definitely one of those players that can pick this competently in competitive League of Legends. And there's not many, Zephyr. Not many.
Nope. Definitely take some high skill level on the other side here for the Stromps. I definitely wanted to see more. We got to see some glimmers of hope there. We saw Gamsu finally come into the limelight with that Gnar and start putting the hammer down here, and combined with the presence of Strompest actually getting some of those key items to start bursting out these carries. It was definitely apparent, but not quite enough, as we talked a lot about the early presence. The rolling potential here already had come through from the Shrimps. So definitely, they've got their mind on the ball. They've got the right direction. They just need to pull the trigger, stem the bleeding, keep themselves in a good position for earlier, especially if they're looking to play around something more mid-game team-oriented.
100%, yeah. And I think something I'd like to see from the Stromps going into Game 2 here, as well as playing more around the bottom side of the map. It's not necessarily because like I think Gamsu and Strompest are probably the strongest players here, but especially if you're going to go for things like the Lilia and like the MF, you'd like to see them get more Dragon priority there.
We'll definitely have to see what they say. As for us here, we're going to take a break from the desk, pass this one back over, or maybe to break. Either way, you'll see what happens here on the stream. Stick around, stay tuned, of course, for that second game. So, just confirm we're going to analyst desk. So take it away, Parth, Deos, and of course, my lovely friend DJ.
DJ here, I suppose, as I am once again joined by Parth and Deos after a pretty exciting game one in which the Shrimps did come out on top of the Stromps, and a lot of that coming down to Sketchdreams, who was very much enabled, gentlemen, in the early game, got to that very strong mark, 4-0 and 4-5 or so to end the game. So, a very nice performance from Shrimps as they do take game one.
Yeah, I mean, I think just based on their draft, what they had with Graves, Draven, Braum, and Karthus, I think they crafted a really strong level 1 strategy where they had an invade. I think blue side had a good response. They put wards down in their jungle and the enemy jungle, and when they saw Karthus start their red buff, like Lilia was able to cross and kind of split the map. But I think it was really dangerous what they did. Draven got the push early, and I think Sketchdreams really did a good job. I was kind of surprised by the pick. I always thought of Sketchdreams as a player who was always like reliable as a team fight carry on things like Aphelios and Jinx and Tristana, but he's definitely demonstrated that he can play early game as well. I think at one point the bot lane was 20 CS to 0. They called the Karthus down, and I think he had like a really fantastic early game.
Just to hop onto that point, I know that leading into the game, we were talking about how these compositions were going to interact into each other, right? And the idea behind the level 1 split map, it shows to me that it's not just about the skill, you also understand that when they do pick these compositions, they understand how to execute it. So I'm wondering how that's going to kind of change the series moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, you could definitely tell that the entire team was in on the strategy, because I think Srtty obviously had the Graves pick in the top lane, and you normally think of Srtty as like an aggressive guy who's kind of like always in the opponent's face, but he actually played his timings very intelligently. If you see when Lilia was first topside and he was playing weak, he pulled the lane, he played safe in his tower. He had to call and they matched TPs, and they try to dive in topside, but he was able to dodge that, and as soon as his jungler is topside, he is in Gamsu's face, and then I think he got a solo kill.
Yeah, I got the solo kill.
A minute after. So I think, again, it shows like a very intelligent understanding of the entire team being on the same page in the early game plan, and like the weak side playing accordingly and playing to his timings, which is like a really big credit to him as a player.
I know we're talking a lot about red side doing a good job, but we can also talk about what blue side did well as well. You mentioned how they were really doomed in the bot half of the map, looking for that early Herald rotation. While bot lane still ended up dying, it showed that they didn't really give up. They didn't really take the punches to the face. They were looking for their own counter blows, which was super good. And even outside of that, them recognizing that they weren't able to fight the red side team and looking for those TP options to create a side lane split push pressure that Strompest found out, that impressed me personally. Within obviously amateur collegiate, you expect a little less coordination, a little bit more inting where your backs are against the wall, one of those like get out scrim sets. But I'm glad to see that we have the mental fortitude to keep on looking for those options.
Yeah, a lot of coordination from red side in the win, as you mentioned, gentlemen. And we have a lot of good counterplay, smart counterplay from blue side. Parth, I know you had a little bit more that you wanted to touch on there.
No, you're good. No, I think you covered it pretty well. The one thing I wanted to highlight, especially like when you're in a bot lane, you're down this far, you kind of sometimes can get in your head and just like bleed slowly. I think they made like a really smart adaptation early, but they found like a very small timer to, I think Trevor went top.
Yeah, flashed.
Yeah, he went top. He helped secure the Herald, and they had to have like a lot of plays of their own. So I think it was like a good like back and forth for a little bit, but I think the blue side just created their early advantage and were able to snowball it pretty effectively.
All right, so an effective snowball from the Shrimps. Some very smart play from the Stromps, but just not quite enough to hold off the snowball. That was Sketch and the Shrimps. So let's look towards that game 2 in our block of 3 here, gentlemen. What are we going to look for? As not sure, waiting for confirmation from production as to whether we have a side swap or not. But if we're talking about adaptations, let's start with the Shrimps, or excuse me, with the Stromps, as we do get confirmation that they will swap sides. So we will see the Stromps head to red side. We'll see the Shrimps head the blue side. So what are you going to look for from the losers, the Stromps here, to try to turn around what happened in game 1? We'll start with Parth.
I think Strompest is one of the stronger players in their team. And I hope that they kind of give him and their jungle like a strong mid 2v2 that they can kind of help pressure the map with. Because right now, I think if you're playing Lily and LeBlanc, it isn't the strongest 2v2. And there's like a lot of CC and you can just get mercs or whatever. And it makes it pretty safe for the enemy team to just respond to you. So I hope they get a good aggressive like mid jungle skirmishing team that are skirmishing duo that have a damage spread, so they can kind of take over the game that way.
All right, and Deos, anything to add on to that?
Well, if I'm the coach or like a player thinking about draft on Strompest's team, there's a couple of issues I need to solve, right? How effective do we think the Graves is? Do we need to ban the Karthus? And how willing are we to first pick the MF or opt into the MF Draven trade again? So when I think about these things, right? Or well, as they should be thinking about it, their solutions and what options they're going to opt into is going to be the most telling for us, right? If they want to leave the Karthus up, I'm expecting a stronger mid 2v2. I'm expecting to try to take over the map in that regard. If they don't really care that much about the Graves, I want to see if the enemy team will actually flex it either to mid or to jungle to put even more threat onto them. And if they opt into the Misfortune and the Draven trade again, how that matchup is going to turn out this time. Maybe we're not blinding Leona. Maybe we're picking Braum instead. Maybe we're picking a stronger mid 2v2. Maybe we're even banning out CptShrimps' champ pool where it's just push and move, right? Maybe Strompest is going to go, okay, guys, we need to get this guy off of these. I'm not gonna say no skill because it requires skill, but we're gonna get this guy on a matchup where it's me and him, mano to mano. Okay, so we'll see what happens. I'm really interested to see.
All right, so the adaptations are on the table again. It will be the Shrimps in a 1-0 lead in this block of 3 as they move over to the blue side for game 2. We will come back with the draft from Parth and Deos for that game 2 in just a couple of minutes after this short break. So stick around for more action here in the amateur arena.
All right, we're
Well,
back in it.
Graves banned away, so at least it'll be a new game. Graves and LeBlanc both banned away.
Lucian band as well. I wonder if Matty's gonna opt into the Lilia pick again. It's kind of his champ, you know what I mean? So we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Lilia play was fine. I just hope. I mean, if it were me, and if I think like Strompest is one of my stronger players, I would want like an AD mid for him.
Hmm.
Ooh, the Draven ban.
Okay, so the cat ban now?
So is it the Yuumi ban or the Karthus ban?
Time to see, time to see. I'm actually pretty interested. Do you think they'll give last pick to Gamsu or to Strompest?
Um, I don't know because it also depends on like sure on red side you have counter pick, but
Mhm.
sometimes you just want like a priority champion or a combo to yourself. Oh, so
Oh no, here it
is that
is.
locked? Is it locked?
Yeah, the Karthus is locked, but not the
No, no,
Yumi.
no.
Oh boy.
Oh, is the Yuumi locked?
Rumble Zed. Just running through all the junglers. Lee Sin.
Oh, that's a little surprising.
Oh, but now the Yumi hover. It makes me wonder
I,
now if Strompest team is gonna take the misfortune and what Shrimps' team is gonna opt into it this time. Maybe they'll just blind misfortune Yumi straight up.
I don't know if that's the strongest thing that you can do.
Mm-hmm.
The J4 is interesting, and I think we saw this at a lot of the Worlds games today, where you kind of just took J4 early. And I think the Thresh also makes sense. It's like a good 2v2, and you take Thresh away from the other side, who it's a good pick into Jarvan. Um, but I think, yeah, taking Jarvan this early makes it so the enemy team can just pick a lot of champions with dashes. So, like, yeah, Jarvan's not going to do anything to Ezreal. He's really not going to do anything to Lee Sin. Um, like, LeBlanc, Camille. So
Yeah.
I really hope we see the Blitzcrank matchup, but unfortunately, I think it's just going to be the Leona. I think every time I see a Thresh on one side, I'm always hoping for a player to play Blitzcrank.
That double lift Blitzcrank. The classic.
Oh, I was thinking about the Core JJ Blitzcrank, but
Oh, the
fair
God
enough.
Hand.
God
The
hand himself.
Ballista. The MF Leona. Let's
Yeah.
see if they
So
pick the Athleos.
instead of picking like a safer lane or just holding AD like Ezreal or something for later, they did choose MF. I think this is like a good opportunity for red side if they pick a stronger bot lane to just yank bot. Just depends on how strong Aphelios Thresh's laning is, but I think Thresh has like a favorable interaction, so they should be able to get the push. And if if Strom's team can play the bot side, like you said, um, it should definitely be a different game.
One thing I'd like to mention is that Thresh is actually one of Trevor's like best champions. Usually it's
Hmm.
banned against them, so I'm excited to see what he does. Already it's setting up to be a really bot side centric game. And Srtty's
Yep.
played tanks before actually on EGP, so we'll see what
Yeah.
he ends up picking.
Yep. So I mean, this is where we're kind of seeing if so they're banning away top laners, which makes me think that they want to blind a top and then
Mhm.
counterpick the mid. Um,
I think the Jace ban to me says that Srtty's looking at a Gnar blind potentially.
that makes sense. I think the TF ban is good because TF Lee Sin have a decent 2v2. And it's one of the things that stops like Aphelios Thresh lane, like basically Thresh lanes from snowballing if the enemy team has TF.
Usually versus Aphelios, you want to either pick split or you want to pick champions that outrange them, right? So I'm interested to see which option Shrimps goes into. But with TF already off the table and them banning Rise, I don't know if Spillfish is going to be that option they're looking for anymore.
Yeah, wait. Wrong. Yeah, so they banned Rise, LeBlanc, and Lucian away from Strompest. So I'm kind of curious to see what he opts into now.
You think it's going to be the Boreana?
I just hope it's not a mage to mage matchup because I think both mages actually hate playing against Lee Sin and Jarvan. They're kind
Yeah.
of good with both. So I do think that Stromp in that case might have a decent advantage, but this time Rumble is left open, and Rumble is pretty decent, especially if you have a mage and a Philios backline. But I just don't know how viable that still is in the mid lane.
Well, there's the
Yeah.
Syndra. I mean, we'll see it. I'm pretty sure Syndra is one of Rumble's worst matchups in the mid lane. I'm not entirely sure, to be completely honest with you, but I would not be surprised if he picks it here. Maybe like a Rumble GP, make it really hard for the mobile carriers of Strompest's team to work.
So personally, if I see a Jarvan on the enemy team, I'm hoping to pick something more mobile.
Like a Camille.
For mid lane. Yeah, I mean a Camille is very solid. I mean if they do Camille Galio, that's definitely an option. I
Camille
think Salas.
Salas. I think Salas is okay. His ultis aren't particularly good though.
Yeah, I mean I think Galio is definitely the best fit with Camille, but I think most of the options he's hovering is good. Like I'm happy that the Jarvan pick is getting punished by people picking so both
Yeah.
carries, both solo laners are now pretty mobile. So if Jarvan wants to make things happen in team fights or even early game, he has to mostly go towards bot lane.
It's nice that you mentioned that actually, because amateur, collegiate, Jarvan prior was through the roof. And then in Worlds, we saw how it didn't really do much, and that's because in amateur collegiate, we're still picking mages into the Jarvan. Champion pools are a bit more limited. Sometimes people just can't play champions that have dashes. It is what it is.
I mean, obviously, I think it's always better. I mean, I always think that it's better for your player to play the champ that he's more comfortable on than something that he's uncomfortable on, but that fits the comp better. Obviously, the degree to which does vary, but I'd rather prefer. Generally, I think comfort is better for stage games. For in houses, though, I feel like you can kind of throw that out of the book.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so I think top lane matchup is Renekton and Camille. I mean, obviously this is Gamsu's like bread and butter. I think Srtty has probably one of the better Camille's in amateur and academy. So this matchup should be good. I think it was like already somewhat playable for Camille, but after the Renekton nerfs, right? Renekton got nerfed, right? Like a few
Yeah,
patches
he
ago.
did. He
It's
did.
done. Yeah, so I definitely think that he should be fine in this matchup. And I think Akali, even if it doesn't, like they can always match up Akali against Renekton. There's no like crazy level ones that I see happening, so I assume it's just gonna be like a very standard game, where a lot of it's gonna kind of be determined by what priorities, like what red side can do on the bot side to get the bot side ahead and see if they can transfer that pressure.
My first question, looking at this already, is if blue side's gonna opt into the bot side 3v3 for the scuttle, if Lee Sin's gonna skip a camp and look for like an early gank, there's actually a tech with the Thresh nerf where Leona can go the cooldown shard, right? And if she E's and Thresh plays, her E will be up before his next play. So we'll see if they opt into making that super volatile. I don't know if we can find out when the game starts if Leona's going to get the cooldown shard, but I'd like to see if that's the case.
Oh, that'd be cool.
What draft are you favoring right now, Parth?
Personally, I do like blue sides more, but I mean, I think both have win conditions. You know, like red side, you have like a standard front to back. In theory, if you have like the advantage in solo laners early game and bot lane, like in theory, if you're like playing to like the maximum potential, if you have 3 like solid lanes, then it doesn't really matter. You can push and shift, get the early herald, split open the map. But I do think that the longer this game goes on, I favor the blue side more, even if they have Aphelios, because I don't really think that it matters too much against kind of the MF range and Camille and Akali kind of diving them from multiple sides.
Yeah, I think it's hard for him to play as well. If we think back on what we mentioned in terms of adaptations, right? I think it's about what we kind of expected. Syndra Jarvan is a fairly strong 2v2, but I was hoping for something a bit stronger. But with the LeBlanc ban, I don't know if that's a sign saying, hey, if LeBlanc and Lucian are off the table, Strompest doesn't have anything a bit more lane dominance that he
Mhm.
can opt into. And it did end up being Gamsu with the last pick and no Camille
Yeah.
ban. You mentioned the Camille being one of Srtty's best champions. There's just like this
Mhm.
inside joke where you'd have to pay the Srtty tax versus EGP, which is the Camille ban. So I'm
Mhm.
pretty interested. Once again, super focused on this top lane matchup. Let's
Mhm.
see who wins it, because if Srtty manages to win it, it's really, really bad for a red team if it snowballs the opposite direction.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited. So let's push it over to the game.
I mean, Redemption Arc for the bot lane. They're on Aphelios Thresh now. I mean, this is the chance, right? Yeah,
Yeah, for
let's
sure.
go next game.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to EOA Esports. We're bringing you the amateur arena here, and I'm your play-by-play caster, Zephyr, of course, joined by the lovely Axeman as my color.
What's up, guys? It's Axeman87. We're back on the desk for the color casting now for EOOEA.
Yeah,
Something, Esports.
EIEIO-AOE.
They're esports happening here, and they're happening in an area of effect.
Wait, well, that's NECC's line.
Oh boy,
Trademark.
Yeah,
You're
we're
about to
already
get
getting
sued, big
taken
boy.
down. The lawyers, I can hear them. I can hear them coming. But no, we're back here for game 2 between the Shrimps and the Stromps. That's Strompest versus CptShrimps, if you're not familiar. And they will be going at it. Game 1 saw the Stromps take a rough loss to the Shrimps, as we saw Sketchdreams, we saw Srtty have a massive game, big carries from these players, and we'll see if we can get something out of them again here in game 2. Both teams have swapped sides.
All right. Nothing too crazy this time around, though. Remember, it was that early level 1. We saw a bit of a trade in terms of that information there. We saw them try to push through. They remembered they had that Braum there on Breezy, so that kind of Graze-Braum combo, that was what we saw taken advantage of from the Shrimps, and it provided some information, but it was a good trade in response from the Stromp's side as well. So this time around, pretty standard start. Meanwhile, though, Srtty already exuding the pressure that he has been known for on this Camille. This happens to be one of his more better known aggressive top lane picks here.
Certainly is. We'll see. Oh man, yeah, Gamsu walking up with the damage. Nice little trade there. To see that down bot side a little bit slower than. Oh, never mind.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Might be a little bit slower, but a good play into an ignite from Trevor already. Now, this is a bit different compared to our first game. Remember, the Shrimps had such a good control of pressure. They were sitting, what was 20, almost 30 CS up in this bot lane to start things off here. And with pressure like that from the Stromps, finally already pushed out, I don't think they're going to have much control over this wave, and then we're not going to see as dominant as a start here for Sketchdreams, which is already exactly what we needed out of the Stromp's roster.
Definitely was there. Shrimp's taking a bunch of damage now mid lane. Gamsu. Oh boy. Yeah, man. The trades from Srtty are just so powerful from Camille. You got Ignite up there top side too, so you got to be careful if you're Gamsu, because that kill pressure is immense up top side. And once again, we see, well, actually, no, this time we see Kyle and Trevor pushing in these waves over and over again into the MF. Seems to be a weakness of the pick. A lot of wave clear.
Well, for now, nothing too crazy there. We're just going to see the gold continue to assume. Here's how deep it will go. For now, though, LeenK already trying to make the oppressive move here on the Gamsu, and it comes out impressively quick there.
Really does.
Oh, another TP coming through this time from CptShrimps here. Response already pushed out from what is going to be Srtty as well. So 3v2. Ooh. So he's got to be very careful there. It was a very nice fear.
Yeah, he has to get the heck out of dodge after that one. Very low health bar. Matty looking for it. Up top side, Pixel Brush. Gonna meet CptShrimps, flags and drags out. Nothing back up top side. Yeah, scary times there for Srtty. But
scary times, yes, indeed.
Trevor,
it happens to be October for a reason, Axe.
Oh yeah, real spooky up in here. Everybody's got their Halloween costumes on. I don't think they do, but it would be funny if they did. Kyle and Trevor, they just continuing to push in these waves, but no real jungle pressure. It's kind of just the threat of the J4 thus far, really keeping them at bay. But dragging up in under a minute now.
And I will say that was one thing that I discussed with you coming out of game 1 that I really wanted to see change up here from the Stromp side if there was one major thing to change. And it was the choice there of that Jarvan being a bit more or heavy impact here for Matty. Looking like LeenK struggling there. Oh, looking like Cleanse popped out there onto Kyle as the aggression ensues there. Trevor with a good flay to pull back, but it's at the expense of this Thresh's life here. Meanwhile, deep, Gamsu here, dashing forward, finding that apparent kill onto LeenK, but not at the cost of his life. Strompest here with now his own regard of punishments. Matty continues to chase this one down. The flag, the drag. Oh, but not before Srtty gets his own cut here. Strompest, one more auto to seal the deal, but maybe a little bit more bleeding than I expected out of the setup there.
Little bit more gold going the way of Strompest on that play. You like to see, oh, jeez, LeenK. Oh, no. Oh, wow, everything is going on down here in the bottom side of the map, or top side of the jungle here, excuse me. Srtty going down, yeah, one more time there. And there's the last kill there for Strompest, bringing us back to the live state here. And Syndra, so much gold in the hand now. I believe took the reset. No, gonna take the reset now and spend that gold. So we'll see what they get.
Back to lane a little bit more in their favor, and this is something we also discussed, or more specifically Parth and the like here of Deus, wanting to see that kind of mid-jungle synergy come out with more apparent stank here. You know that Strompest is your kind of keystone in terms of the player that you're looking to work with here, so taking advantage of that. But speaking of taking advantage of the misposition here, it's going to be a clean wipe there, and sadly the Lantern, Trevor, not to be found. LeenK with the follow-up Sonic Wave deep. Matty with his own flag and drag, and a good death sentence on Breezy, but no kills to sustain. Either way, it's still a secured kill there on the Stromps AD carry.
Dragon remains up for the time being. Neither side really having the edge on that objective. Might be LeenK starting it up here, but Matty's in the area. Gamsu runs down Srtty up top side. No dragon going to be started up just yet. Just that scuttle taken down. Huge vision advantage for the side of the Shrimp so far, and this is something we saw in game one. We talked about it heavily too, Zephyr, is the vision game from this team. Massive, right? They always got wards, always in the right places here. Strompest maybe looking for the dive. Matty with him.
Yeah. Good pull back there, but you've already got the rotation out from Srtty, not willing to take his lumps under turret there. They focus their attention here onto LeenK, and it's quite the apparent one as they find that kill quickly there. Not really expecting out there from the vision. Meanwhile, Srtty just barely getting the repel off, but a quick ball secures that kill to find a double here onto Strompest. Meanwhile, CptShrimps clearing out this wave, doesn't want to get dived without any punish coming through. The balls are out, and that Shroud doing a great job protecting this Akali here. Either way, still no kills to sustain, but definitely some heavy damage to tank out on that one.
Definitely, and third shot's hitting a little hard there, but Strompest still looking for the damage down to CptShrimps. We saw, oh, there we go, big bullet time.
That is an incredible bullet time. Not just big, almost absolutely perfect there. Just barely cutting the edge of that. And Sketchdreams, even in the face of constant pushing, constant aggression in spot lane, never really having that priority, still able to find just a quick response. And that's the issue. You try to push out these lanes as hard as you do. You have to remember, you're also giving the enemy that much more space to work with if they aggress upon you. So we saw that exactly as Breezy found just the crucial moment to make that engage with this Leona. Now with Solar Flare available, it's going to be even more apparent. Meanwhile, top side, Strompest onto LeenK. Once again, another major kill here onto this Syndra, and now the Rift.
And Strompest has made incredible use of the ultimate so far. Gets that pick off of LeenK. Almost has the ultimate back up. Gonna be taking it mid here. Srtty, you gotta be careful. But we saw in Worlds today, we saw that Syndra played top side, and I believe that was a top laner that previously been a mid laner, so maybe not the biggest thing, but almost feels like Strompest is playing top lane. He's been up there so much, right? He's been up there several times, got 4 kills for himself. I don't think he's gotten a kill in his own lane yet, so it's all just been the rotations up top there.
That's fine. That's good rotation. That's what
exactly.
You gotta work with.
Yeah, those are valuable rotations there, and he's getting the kills almost exclusively on LeenK. Being able to shut down that early game jungler has given this team so much room to breathe, so much room to work with. I imagine it's a big reason why they're winning this game so far, are just these rotations up to help out Gamsu.
And so this is kind of the pacing or the win con that we wanted to see out Stromp. So already looking good, put Strompest in a really nice place. Last time we saw him kind of gracefully scale into that LeBlanc, and yes, it was a dastardly amount of damage that eventually came through, but it may be a bit too late in the face of Shrimps, who had already taken such an early advantage. This time around, 9 minutes in, 4-0-1, already a hefty lead away into some of those major spikes that will make Strompest that much more of a target here. Putting out though, that rift topside.
Yeah, drop the topside here. Give me another dive here in the Srtty. You gotta be careful.
He's just going for it all the way in here onto Gamsu, stunned out before he can really make the wall on the repel there. And bit of a missed time maybe on the Hextech ultimatum, so a quick secured kill as well as those double assists, and with that wave crashing, could potentially be first turret as well.
Could be, yeah. Might have saved the turret by pushing out, but there's a lot of damage going on this Renekton right now. You see he's got the Iron Spike whip in inventory. He's got a nice little wave there too. Matty pathing up top here. They should be able to finish off this turret on this rotation. No teleport from Srtty either. And yeah, you're right on that one, Zephyr. This turret is going down. That is first turret, I believe, unless Sketchdreams is taking it down here, and he might. I think he's a little close. Yeah, there it goes. It's going to go down, but
it's at the expense of the teleport, though. Breezy on the back end here. They can't quite go as deep as they wanted here on a Breezy due to a great bullet time there from Sketchdreams. So once again, keeping the zoning out here. Now, Gamsu moving forward here. They might want to try for a dive. But given that they don't have control of the vision, I don't think they were actually able to spot out LeenK at any given time there. Either way, they don't want to go for anything too much more aggressive, even after expending that teleport there.
I think you're right on that one. It just goes back to what we were talking about, the vision, right? You don't have tracking on these members so far on LeenK, and that's it makes it difficult when you try to go for big teleport plays like that. There's only so much you can really do with that information, and you're right, that defensive bullet time really enables them to just walk out of that situation, and nothing really for Gamsu to do once they get a certain distance away from him. But I think it's probably fine anyway. You know, he's just taking the enemy turret, push his wave all the way up. Is he gonna kill Srtty here? There's no way.
Easily. I was about to say it's just one quick repel on the wall to finish it, but it could have been stunned out like last time. Meanwhile, Sketch into Breezy. It's a big launch, but a great flay. Teleport coming through in response. Meanwhile, that cleanse is pulled out there from Kyle. No scatter the weak from Strompest to secure any further stun, but Matty in the crash to make sure that they'll probably get this tier 1.
Yeah, I would imagine so. Nice little teleport there from Strompest. Gives him the strong side advantage, the numbers advantage down in the bot side. No dragon up, still 3 minutes, so no teleports up for the Stromps for the objective, but they've had pretty commanding map control so far, and that should give them the edge there. Srtty going in. On Gamsu.
I was say right in the middle of the Dominus. Probably not the best time to find your way forward. I like this though. It's CptShrimps on the side to try to play into this one, and even with the perfect execution, still can't find what they need here onto Gamsu. Now the 3v1 collapse, a big cataclysm, but the flash to find CptShrimps that much further away. Even with the massive spike, maybe the drag, the follow, they're still unable to lock this one down. Trevor, the chase, the goose finally slain here, straight into hands of Gamsu. Oh, maybe some more. LeenK, a big unleashed power.
Yeah, it feels super bad. I think that's like the third time Strompest has just outright ulted LeenK for the kill there. And you have to imagine it's affecting the mental at this stage. I know it would for me, Zephyr. Oh man, that sucks. But yeah, it's real tough. They're pushing in these waves mid lane now. Oh, Breezy in with the Zenith Blade. Yeah, maybe know something Breezy. We don't.
No, trying to play around Sketchdreams. I love that flay though, preventing the ultimate, but it's still potentially at the cost of Breezy's life. A good burn though from that ignite to make sure that they at least get the return support for support.
Yeah, they trade supports out here, and it's actually pretty good there as Breezy was able to use the ultimate, did not have Solar Flare up, and Trevor was going to be providing a lot more valuable for his team than Breezy was for theirs, so it's a good trade. Breaks up the push in here in the mid lane as well. All in all, a good sacrifice there, good play, good use of bullet time.
Absolutely. Once again, we're seeing the tale that has been told many times here. Sketchdreams doing a great job putting pressure on the line here for this roster, and always being in a great spot to kind of defensively even play around the misfortune when it's not the time to pull that tool out in an aggressive sense.
For sure there. Under a minute now till the next dragon comes up. Matty clearing camp's top side, looking to path down there the Rift Herald might be the next objective for both these teams.
Dive.
Look at Strompest, no!
Oh, this might be all but over there. That goal, the big shutdown straight into LeenK's pocket. Breezy, they spot out this rush here now. LeenK and the like, I don't know how far they're going to get out. It's a good Dragon's Rage to prevent that much further, but they're going to give away priority towards this Rift here. Now, Dragon spawning 28 seconds. I'm curious if focus going to be given over as LeenK might make that rotation down, but no.
LeenK looking.
Yeah, he's
probably
looking.
not going to get it, but it's got to be like better than therapy killing Strompest for LeenK after the game he has had. That probably felt pretty good. So envious of that feeling, but yeah, great play there. I don't think they're going to be able to get the Rift Herald off of it. It seems like Matty still has control of that objective. He should be finishing off. Ooh, Gamsu going deep. Trevor with support. Whoa!
Deep. That ult just barely not cutting the mustard there onto Kyle. A good night Moonlight Vigil for the Severum to pull himself back up in terms of health, but not enough to secure the kill. Meanwhile, topside, yes, we did see Srtty go down, but not maybe at the expense of LeenK. Yeah, Gamsu's looking healthy, and Matty over the wall. It's a nice ward hop, but not quite enough to make his way out. Gamsu on fire here, but could literally be that much further. I like the Cataclysm back deep here on to Sketchdreams. Gonna force that flash out as Trevor flays CptShrimps that much further away. A box to slow the assault as well.
And there's just so much disengage, so many different disruption tools out of Matty and out of Trevor there. It's able to get the cooldowns back up for Gamsu, and that's when he's at his most dangerous, so they have to back off for the time being. And great usage of the abilities there from Matty and Trevor to be able to give him that opportunity. They're going to take the reset after taking so much gold up there in the top lane. Dragon has respawned. Both teams looking for it, but we're at a 17-minute second Dragon on the map here, Zephyr. I don't think Dragon Soul is going to be a big win con for either of these teams.
It's definitely something that will hold presence eventually. Either way, though, I want to point this out. There was lots of presence on that top side. Watch Strompest side lane pushing out, finds that tier 1 even in the face of all of that chaos. So continuing to assume more gold, not only for his team, but for himself here, making this Syndra even more of a dominant force to worry about. Now, the Stromps, they rotate. They're going to contest for this next Drake, and actually, looks like it's already all said and done. Oh, maybe not. LeenK! Oh. Just as I say it, a curse over the wall there. K, he's going to go down at the expense of the steal, but not quite giving up that much further. We work our way on to now an Ocean gracing the Rift.
Oh, yeah. LeenK, he's got a lot of deaths, but he's getting a lot of value back in return, right? Getting shutdowns on Strompest, getting the steal there on that Dragon. Here's a replay for you. Coming up, Matty almost had it down, and then he's just over the wall, and Bob's your uncle. 900 base damage with Smite, and that's just enough for him, Zephyr. Rift Herald drop mid lane. They're certainly going to take this.
Oh, Breezy big. Matty, though, even bigger. Yes, it's deep. Cataclysm, though, going to keep Sketchdreams in just the right spot for Gamsu to make sure the job is done. So 1 for none there. Tier 2 going to blow out either way.
Good stuff there, and yeah, they pick off Sketchdreams, pick off Breezy there too, and get that mid lane turret. That's a lot of value for their time. We'll see. Yeah, they got waves to push out too in their side lanes. So things going very well for Stromps this game. Might just be a red side buff, not really sure, but you like to see it. Strompest once again hyper fed on another mage, 613 here, looking to put him in the side lane. We're gonna get him super fed. See where he goes. He's taking jungle camps now, so talk about a hyper carry.
You know, I will say there is still this kind of composition worked out here for the Shrimps where they were looking to roll similar to that first game, and the sad fact is they really weren't able to find great footing first kind of 10 minutes. And you saw someone like LeenK punished out time and time again, notably by Strompest. So you're not only losing out on your win condition, but you were also enabling the Stromps rosters con at the exact same time. So those two major conundrums kind of working their way into a dastardly storm here.
Pause comes out. We'll see what that is for you here in just a little bit, but we'll continue talking about the game for just a while, just in case this is a shorter one than not. But game state, I would say, very favorable for Strompest. They're up 4K gold.
So far, yep.
That's a nice little lead. They're down dragons, and that is a potential win con. you're looking at Sketchdreams and Breezy, both having solid performances so far, and they can continue to control that bottom side of the map with their different skirmishing potential there with the bullet time, with the solar flare. They can continue to look for these objectives and try to stack those up.
Yeah, it's definitely a choice matter though for them here, because at the end of the day, it doesn't feel like that mid-game presence is really that much stronger for them. As once again, we see them drafting what is a really great team composition here from the Strompest side, and at this time, every key piece, those windows that really need to be enabled, are in all the right spots. You talk about Gamsu on that Renekton rushing this down, keeping the side lane in great pressure so that if you're looking for a team fight, he's constantly putting numbers here versus say something like Strompest, who on this Syndra already making heavy impressions into every single fight. So we talk about Dragons, we talk about Barons. It's definitely, mid to mid game, but it's still looking much stronger for the Strompest roster.
I'd have to agree with you there, Zephyr. Back on the Rift now. LeenK trying to sweep up some of this vision. Doing very well at that, but might have...
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, we're good. We froze for a second there, but we're fine. Still trucking. CptShrimps trying to provide a little bit of pressure up top side here. He's trying to... you can't match Strompest per se, but you do want to hover that side of the map to try and either bounce the wave he's pushing into you, or see if you can look for a pick if you have a teammate roaming up for you. Yeah, you just kind of control that area, hover, and try to stay off of vision, but they're having a hard time staying off of vision now. Strompest have really stepped up their vision game. You see that deep vision in the top side jungle, going to be enabling them to go for this Baron.
Right, so already aggressing on that. Mind you, all 5 members here of the Shrimps are up, so if they whiff this one out, they might be able to make the play. Meanwhile, slow rotation. I think they've finally caught on. You see full 5 members. Mind you, you don't have Srtty there, and he doesn't even have teleport, so it's going to be that 4v5 if things start out right at this moment here. Good bullet time over the wall, maybe a little bit early in terms of the damage, but the follow through, trying to come through with that Sonic Whip, but not quite able. CptShrimp deep does find the perfect execution when necessary. LeenK finally over the wall, and a steal here for the Shrimps roster. Now the pickup, the cleanup, the janitors, Trevor and Kyle, the last 2 remaining here. Trevor 1 wipe away from death, and now Kyle, next one to go. LeenK with the follow up into the Sonic Wave ward over the wall. He's got the available response with a bit of area of effect, but not enough to keep them off. So a full team ace as well as a Baron. I told you it was risky.
Yeah, it was. Zephyr, here's the replay coming through. Strompest gets taken super low by CptShrimps right at the start of this fight. This is post bullet time, by the way. LeenK coming in with the damage, followed up by MF's damage. Trevor going through, chasing them down, and you see here finally Sketchdreams trying to get away, but there's just nothing to be done. Great steal there by the MF, and fantastic play, fantastic way for Strompest, for Shrimps to get back into this game. Dead back, gold back to dead even now, just a couple hundred between them. And we'll see both sides looking to play for the Dragon now, up in just a few seconds. It's a big objective for Shrimps. Ocean Soul would really change the course of this game for them, Zephyr. And we hear Matty's in with the flag and drag. Trevor, Death Sentence goes wide. Breezy's able to get out with the flash. Think we might have lost Zephyr, but that's fine. I can continue on here. Strompest. Yeah, Strompest should be able to take this Dragon. They're pulling it out now. But the teleport on the backside here, instant death sentence, going to pull CptShrimps, and the Kali goes golden. Does not have flash to go over the wall, is going to go down. Meanwhile, blue team Shrimps sneaks in, steals the Dragon off of them. That's 3rd Dragon. Amazing. All of a sudden, they're on Dragon Soul point. Nice little teleport there from CptShrimps. I guess they felt the need to 5-man him, but hey, they look for the pick and give up Dragon in response there. They're 5 down mid, using that pick to give themselves a man advantage. Also looking at Srtty down that bot lane. Might want to take the reset here as they push 5. Just going to look for the inhib before taking the reset. Take a look at individual gold real quick. They have quite a bit to spend, I would say. after picking off CptShrimps. I'm not 100% who picked up that kill. I think it might have been Strompest, but that ult is back up, so I just picked him off with a Q or something like that. I'm told by production the gold toggle is broken. I wouldn't be surprised if everything... It seems like lots of things are going wrong for production for the stream right now, but I'm still here. I'm still going strong. So maybe I'm next. I don't know. Maybe I'll cut out here in just a little bit, but Shrimps up 1K gold. They got 3 dragons. Looking good, to be honest. Game was a little rough. Much closer game for them so far than game 1, but honestly, I'm still a big Shrimps believer. Still a big believer here. We got Sketchdreams. We got Breezy. The solid bot lane. They have a lot of gold in their pockets. I don't think we talked about the Eclipse yet. It's a nice one. The lethality MF here. Honestly, I think that's my preferred build. Might have Zephyr back. Zephyr!
You might. You might have me back.
Yeah, there he goes. There he goes. There he goes. I thought I heard you.
Still working on getting a little bit of the feedback, but for now, you can still cut them through.
Nice. All right. So we got Zephyr coming through, but we'll try and get him.
There we
back,
go. All right.
Hey, there we go. Nice. We got the mic story.
But we're definitely into this one, so fill me in there.
Big dragon taken by the Shrimps to bring them to 3 dragons. CptShrimps teleported in on the back line. They like 5-manned him, and it gave Blue enough time to get that dragon down. Breezy all the way in, all the way deep.
Yeah, I don't know about all the way in, just all the way out there.
Yeah.
Not much to play around.
All the way out. 100% Srtty running away from the Renekton. Might get caught out now on the rotation. Ooh. Matty.
Flag in the blast clone. He's got the nice repel over the wall, so maybe a little bit of the extended chase here to kind of dissuade, and it takes advantage of a lot of the time that you kind of have to play around when you talk about major windows. Breezy's off the map. That's one of the major tools that Shrimps really relies on, and this split that Shrimps is providing, constantly proving pressure across the map, doesn't really give Strompest a good idea of what they want to do or where they want to put themselves, so kind of wasting that potential there.
Yeah, a little bit, I would say. Take stock of the map so far. Objectives really coming up. We got Baron coming up in just a little bit. Both sides looking to go for that, but vision game, I'm looking at the vision. Neither side really pathing up top there. Just gonna meet in the middle. Honestly, I think if you're Strompest, you're just looking to push down 5 down the mid lane here.
Yeah.
But might be looking to finish an item or 2. I think might be what we're looking at.
Well, we'll probably see a major fight before that. I don't know if they're going to be looking to push that.
No fight. Everyone resets before it.
No.
I'll stake my reputation.
With Baron being as oppressive as it is and the clearing of vision already out, they've got a good notion of where everyone may be here now.
Then the house.
Srtty's got the teleport available, so he can make necessary rotations at a given drop of a hat here. Going to continue pushing in that way, but maybe make the rotation sometime soon. 45 seconds towards that soul. That could be the next major point of contest.
Starting to look like it here too. Maybe Shrimp's just stalling out the map, trying to get that dragon to come back up.
This didn't work well the first time, so yeah, I'd say just clear and walk away. You don't want to end up in a similar situation where you lose out there on that Baron again.
Definitely don't want to lose out on the Baron. Trevor all the way in.
Yeah, Trevor maybe a little bit too deep there, finding himself on blue side. Teleport is coming through there as Breezy's maybe the next to be caught out. LeenK goes in deep, but it's a big cataclysm in the backline to prevent that bullet time. Matty, like I said, deleting what is that last remaining remnants here of your jungler and bot lane. Shrimps on the side with Srtty as well here. They might look to try to collapse, find some additional kills here as Trevor is the first one to spot out Srtty there. A teleport though, coming back in for Strompest, getting that full health advantage into a good scatter the weak. It's yes, a Hextech ultimatum, but it is in the expense of nothing here. So a soul for nobody.
Yeah, no soul yet. Dragon goes down to the Strompest. They should be able to get Baron off of this play as well, Zephyr, which is going to put them in a very strong position. Yeah, hey, who knows, right? But you know what? They didn't take the reset.
No, they did
Congrats
not.
on
They, in
that one.
fact, took
Congrats
the
on that.
fight first.
Yeah. I don't know how you do it, Zephyr. You just build different. Just build different. You see LeenK tries
All
to
that
make a move on
Apex
this Baron.
gameplay gives me all the notions that I need.
The big brain, man. Kings Canyon will do that to you. A massive brain, but now they get that Baron handily. No opportunity for the steal for the contest from the Shrimps. Take the reset. Lots of gold in hand.
So, we're
also
kind of at the
completing
place that
third
we were
item.
supposed to be like 7 minutes ago now.
Yes, yeah.
where
so-
the Baron was supposed to be taken by Strompest, and they were supposed to kind of start walking this one down. Instead, they gave a little bit more leeway back over to the Shrimps. With that in their hands, they should be able to exude a bit more pressure. I will say the macro game here from Shrimps, the kind of split, the push, the waves that they kind of keep control on have been impressive thus far. But stuff like this, that's the risk that they'll take advantage of. Matty here with his first take. LeenK gonna be forced to use that Dragon's Rage to push him back, but they continue the chase to ensue. Sky of the Week, Matty with the flag and drag, a bit of vision clearing.
And just a little bit of vision clearing going on now.
Whoa.
Whoa, Captain that was a lot of damage.
Strompest going gold for gold here. A Sky of the Week, maybe a little bit too late, but it's at the expense of both laners here. So mid for mid, but remember, that's one of the major key pillars here for the Stromps.
Oh yeah, mid for mid, good stuff there. Strompest, like you said, hyper carry for this team. Big old Syndra, taking a lot of pick potential away from them, and that will enable the Shrimps to have a bit better time here as they look for picks themselves. Maybe looking for Gamsu here. That's a big Renekton though.
I was gonna say,
I don't know if you're gonna catch him out.
a little bit of a rotation, not quite sure about that one. The wave doing into work in its own regard to keep the push unsued here. Remember though, no bullet time being available means the defense not as strong here for the likes of Sketchdreams. So wave continues to crash. Srtty's deep though, trying to find his way back onto the 80 carry. I like the response there, but a good cleanse here from Kyle is going to keep this fight a rolling. LeenK deep, Sonic Wave in the back. Meanwhile, Sketchdreams finally able to walk up and start these kills as CptShrimps goes with the follow-up. The Flay to keep them off for long, but a Sonic Wave as well as a dash from CptShrimps to wipe and find what is, oh, it's the full wipe here. Yeah, there's not much to say about that last revive.
Took him a while. Gamsu's pretty
No, not
tanky, man.
quite.
Yeah, it's he's got a lot of durability there between the Guardian Angel and the Starix gauge, but eventually goes down. There's actually 2 Guardian Angels on the side of Stromps. It's noticed. It's interesting, but
It just got picked up actually.
yeah, here's that replay for you. Matty goes down right at the outset. Maybe a reason he picked up the Guardian Angel, but yeah, probably just gonna get it down quickly after that. Trevor getting just absolutely blown up. And yeah, that's what happens when you're in a 5v3 situation. Things just don't go well. It's a man advantage. Of course, Strompest respawning at the same time as CptShrimps. And CptShrimps is just closer, baby. That's just how
That's
that
true.
works. There's no teleport for either one. They're right-clicking, and he probably gets on the scene first.
I like when you talk about movement, you don't say, oh, the rotation, oh, the kind of...
Nah, make it up.
No, they sit there,
Make up words.
they right-clicking.
They just right-click over there.
Let me
Left
tell
or
you,
right
Shrimp
foot.
Captain, he was doing more right-clicking there than Strompest, and the right-clicking played out to his favor. Thank you, Axeman.
They're high-quality right-clicks.
Either way, the level of aggression from CptShrimp definitely was kind of the turning point of that fight there, enabled them to finally get deeper in the backline. You saw the early engage from LeenK didn't quite come up in full fruition there. It needed that extra oomph, as you saw that cleanse was already expended from the likes of Kyle there. So having that second notion to go in there and actually kind of start wiping and securing those kills, that's what we needed out of Shrimp. So able to defend, able to prevent what was that Baron there, and I believe they only were able to pick up the 1 turret as well as that dragon steel off the back of just the 1 turret. My apologies.
Sounds right to me. Dragon up now.
Soul would be huge.
We're gonna wait 20 seconds until it actually comes up, and then I'll be right. Srtty going in on the Gamsu. So here's Breezy once more.
Zenith pulled back with the death sentence. A massive bullet time from Sketchdreams, though, to wipe this fight even further. CptShrimp deep, a Moonlight Vigil not quite landing, but Matty on the side with a good flag and drag into that Cataclysm to make sure that Sketch goes down here. Gamsu is dead, but it's 3v4. Srtty on the back and trying to contest, but a great flag and drag to get the double knock up into the death sentence to pull this one back. Srtty goes gold, but it might be at the expense of his life. A big shield to keep him that much alive, but Strompest being knocked out by the peel for his team. Now CptShrimps 4v1. Yes! Can he get it? But not quite all but done there. Can't find Strompest in the likes of this one, and 3v none. They walk up and are going to be able to take another Ocean Drake.
Oh, it was there, Zephyr. They had it. I think they could have done it. I think there's a world where they do that, but I think it would have had to involve Strompest just walking into the Akali, and I don't think that's going to happen. Yeah, here's the replay. Matty just all the way in, knocks up Breezy, goes super deep, gets that kill down, and is on the back line from the outset. Gamsu going to go down, which is huge for the Shrimps, but he's still frontline, right? You're putting all of your resource into killing the front line, and unfortunately, it leads to this back end where you have so many big damage dealers to be able to contend with, and it's 3v4, unfortunately. But I swear, Zephyr, they could have done this. The Shrimps could have won this. It was very close. Takes out Trevor. See if he gets within range of Strompest. The Q will cool down, I'm pretty sure, but if he gets within range, finishes them off. I don't know. I think it looks a lot better because Strompest finished them off there with the W at the end, and yeah, no, I think he could have done it. I think he could.
It was, yes, it is as close as it gets there, but we do see some of the more apparent disadvantages here of kind of that Shrimps decision making. Yeah, they play out for that front line. They aren't able to really wipe what they need there. So you see the likes of Stromps and the rest of the squad able to walk out initially from that fight pretty clean, and at the expense of that, you already lose Sketch and Breezy. Like I was saying, though, big props to Matty. Yeah, he was deep, but his quick thinking, the quick turnaround, that flag and drag into the cat to focus back on his Sketchdreams to wipe this one. Had Sketch lived a little bit longer, that would have been it. LeenK back over the wall to protect himself from that Gravitum lockdown, not knowing how much longer he'll go. I like the rain here from Sketchdreams to slow the pacing here as he is able to get the ward hop over the wall. It's a bit of a tough situation for Shrimps as any one of these members could be picked off at a given point. Srtty trying to find what he needs on the lockdown here from Matty as Breezy goes in that much deeper. No solar flares. They're going to expend the GA. Gamsu taking most of the damages. Now we do see the back end. Kyle finally rotating up, and they're able to slowly wipe this one out. But Kyle doing a great job to kite this one back with the Infernum. He's able to pick off 2 before he goes down. Now Strompest looking to clean this one up. One quick ball to secure what is the triple for himself. 2v1, gonna try to walk this one down, but I'll say it'll be difficult into the face of Srtty.
Strompest once again the final arbiter of who is winning these team fights. He is massive on this Syndra. 14-3 and 10 takes the inhib, looking to push for even more. Zephyrs could be it.
Trevor's chunking a death sentence, not quite a land-in. They find the one Nexus turret, but they're gonna say that's it. We've secured what we need. The repel to come out. Woo. Scout of the week, not quite enough to prevent that initial damage, but I don't think we're going to see much more of a chase. But Srtty, wants to find it. Ooh, just barely dodging out. What is that death sentence? Continues to progress further and further here. You got to ask, when do you stop? Remember, most of these squads are spawning here for the Stromp side, so I think he's just going to slow his roll, catch this wave, and try to exude a little bit more pressure back onto it.
So what you're doing here is you're delaying the backs. You're also pushing this mid wave way out by just kiting the super minions along with you instead of killing them. The faster way to push.
3v1, Breezy already low. You see that teleport coming through from the likes of Gamsu. Trevor able to pick up that initial kill there. You see the Dominus already thrown down here. Now they aggress once again back onto this front line, but look at that. Strompest, Scatter of the Week, big dance as a bullet time is going to pressure out most of this roster from walking forward here. Trevor looking dicey there with the burst. Either way, it's still the 1-for-1 there. Kyle being the big name taken out, so definitely a bit more of a loss for Stromps this time around. LeenK playing quite the risky game there. There's the teleport on the back end from Srtty. Gonna try to get over the wall here, see what he can find, and it's going to be the first initial take there. Remember, the GA, though, is going to be keeping Gamsu alive. Look at that Scatter the Week, just ripping through most of this roster. It's going to be at the expense of Srtty as Sketchdreams going to be forced to use that cleanse there not to get locked down as Strompest follows up with that double here. Big flag and drag, not quite the knock that they need, but I like the rain to slow this one out. CptShrimps just holding off on this one. Gonna pull this one back as slow as he can, maybe play back into it. Goes gold here, but I know, good, perfect execution. Love the timing there out of the invulnerability just to keep him alive for that much longer. But it's going to be at the expense of losing control of this Baron.
Yeah, they got to get the Baron off of this one, right? This Kyle's pushing up here for the sustained damage there too. Lanterns in. Yeah, they should be able to get that one. I mean, you're dealing with super minions in your own base too, right? So you can't really push out, look for objectives like that.
No.
You only have like 2 members up. CptShrimps is still up there too for 3 members, but yeah, you're looking to push waves out, maybe look for this dragon. It's up in 5 seconds though, Zephyr. They're gonna have to push real hard and get there as soon as they can. LeenK just respawned. Srtty as well, just now back on the map, and they need this.
Is tough, I will say. Gotta give mad respect out to the Stromp squad. Most of the major windows, we talk a lot about that bullet time. The like of some of these perfect executions have been doing a great job to dodge out the majority of them or prevent them before they really can come to full fruition. For now, though, they take control over of the river here. And LeenK, he's done it before. He might look for the steal over the wall.
Certainly might, could look for that. We've seen Sketchdreams steal a couple objectives here too. Here it is.
He is spotted out here, so they're not going to waste the damage on the dragon, knowing that it might be up. Dashes back in, finds the steal to get the soul. Matty's going to be out, but they're not quite on Strompest. You see the Hextech ultimatum in the back line. Deep, though, it's going to be at the expense of Srtty's GA here. Kyle doing a great job to pull this one back here, but it might be too much for him to handle, even with the Crescendum Severum to keep himself healthy. So a soul secured. They're going to have to back off to make sure they catch this wave, but it definitely paints a great light on possible victory here for Shrimps.
Look at all that regen. Here's the replay coming through for you. It was LeenK in with the shock blast. Boom. There you go, Zephyr. That's how you steal an objective. The bullet time coming through for lots more pressure onto the Stromps, forcing them off the play. And you saw how the rest of it went there. Now it's Shrimps gathered up here in the mid lane, looking to take a big team fight because they have the biggest advantage they're ever going to get. They got the Ocean Soul.
To pull back to that fight, just kind of add on a little bit more to that one there. That was the first time we didn't quite see Matty really get the lockdown that we've seen previously here onto Sketchdreams. Now look at him able to wipe through with the initial shutdown there onto Strompest. That's a better pick than you're going to get there. They follow that one up onto Trevor. Continuing deep is Srtty here over the wall. He's able to just keep this one alive. 3v1. Hextech ultimatum down and 1 member gone. Sketchdreams over as well. The Cataclysm removed, so he can walk in scot-free to keep the damage pumping. 1 bullet bounce here turns his attention to Gamsu. Now with the resurrection up for the GA. Yeah, he's gonna walk forward, but he can't find what he needs here. 30 seconds on the clock till some of your major members are on the board, and this might be just enough for Shrimps to take second game.
Another ace for the Shrimps, and they are looking for game 2, like you said. And if this were a best of 3, this would be the end of the series. We're gonna play another game here for the Block 3 coming up in just a bit.
Baby.
I don't know if they can end.
7 and 12. Strompest is going to be up. This is going to be the big one here. But the damage from Sketchdreams to wipe out both of these turrets here is going to be enough. Trevor walks out. Strompest just barely working his way out as the fountain. As Shrimps pick up game 2 here of the night.
Great game there. Shrimps once again dominating. You know, I think this was a much closer game, I will say.
I don't know about dominating.
Well, I mean, hey, they got 4 dragons. They had great vision control most of this game, but it definitely was a much closer game than game 1. So Stromps are starting to catch up, starting to get a handle on this series, how it's going to play out. But man, Strompest has been so strong this series. What a player. Fantastic so far. And yeah, what do you think, Zephyr? What are we looking for in game 3?
Game 3, I definitely want to see maybe a little bit more of what we saw out of the early game here from the Stromps roster kind of progress forward. We finally saw their kind of win con. They were able to stun out what was LeenK for a little bit longer and put all that gold advantage there onto Strompest. That looked absolutely phenomenal. The problem was they couldn't quite put a stop to the rest of this roster coming to their full fruition, as well as their kind of decision making coming into the end, getting split here as Srtty finally got his shoes back in the right place, as well as LeenK, they were able to continually wipe these team fights in 2 separate directions. You notice around that Dragon Pit, that was probably the most important one of the game. You had Srtty deep in that backline. Hextech ultimatum directly onto Strompest. Meanwhile, Matty unable to find what he wants as he's forced to go on top of LeenK in response to that Dragon. So those 2 major obstacles still came right back around to kind of give the enabling presence that was necessary here to this roster here. So Stromps, they were on good track here. They just need to kind of walk away from some of those decisions, kind of keep their focus where it needs to be.
100%, yeah, and I like what you mentioned about Strompest, the Stromps looking to recreate what they did in early game, game 2. I like Gamsu a lot better on early game champion. I like it a lot better when he gets that help early. Game 1 on Gnar, I think that was a good lane for him, but he gets solo killed by Srtty on Graves all the same, and he does not scale well. It goes 1-4-1 out of laning phase. This game looked a lot better. He's on the early game champion. Got help from Strompest. Strompest was like 4-0 or something.
Yeah.
Just off kills he's getting up top side, helping out Gamsu. And it made this team look a lot better, kept them relevant a lot later in the game.
Absolutely. So we'll have to take a look and see here. Maybe the Stromps will be able to pick up 1 game in the face. It's already 2 for the Shrimps, but they can maybe work this one out to be a 2-1 advantage. As for us, we're going to be throwing this one back to your AD. DJ, take it away.
Welcome back to the Analyst Desk. This time I am DJ, once again joined by Parth and Dios. And I think as our casters mentioned, gentlemen, a lot different early game, and much to what you were asking for in the adaptations for Team Stromps in game number 1, from game number 1, with that much stronger 2v2, right, Parth?
Yeah, I mean, I think this game, they definitely had a very clear idea of what they wanted to do in attack. I think Blue side did like a very good job again of identifying what they wanted to do with their level 1. When they saw their Renekton leashed, I think Srtty pushed in the wave and they were able to get that level, the early dive. But I think after that point, it was the top side was mostly dictated by Strompest and Jarvan, like tag teaming, going, invading their jungle, killing the Lee Sin, going top side, getting the Herald. I think Strompest did a really, really good job despite losing of creating a lot of the early advantage and helping snowball that top side.
Yeah, certainly did. I mean, similar sentiments for you, Dios. Is that how you kind of saw this one turning around a little bit for Team Stromps in that early portion?
Yeah, for sure. I definitely felt like Strompest was put in the position alongside Gamsu to actually dictate the pace of the game. Before, he didn't really have many avenues to participate on the sides, but this time, the most important thing you need for a strong 2v2 is to be able to convert it into one half of the map, and having Gamsu on their neck to the Camille matchup allowed that to happen. So glad to see that adaptation.
Yeah, now that early game went really, really well this time around for Team Stromps, but do need to talk about some of the things that happened in the mid game. There was a lot of good, gentlemen, but there was some sloppiness that came in once again around the Baron this game.
Yeah, so, I mean, before we even get into the Baron, I do want to shout out Sketchdreams and Breezy. I think if it weren't for them basically solo killing their lane opponent multiple times and even calling down one of the ganks, I don't think that the game wouldn't even gotten to Baron. So I think it was big shout out for them for winning that lane, which I think is really hard against Philius and Thresh, and capitalizing on that first early Drake that kind of got them to that position at that Baron in the first place.
And to mention your Baron point, while we were watching, Parth actually mentioned it. He said that the exact spot where Strompest's team died while they were ahead was the exact spot that Shrimp's team died last game. So it's kind of funny how they emulate each other in that sense.
Yep. I think going back to the Baron that you were talking about, I think it's important to note, and you can kind of see the difference between how Srtty plays the side lane versus when Gamsu plays the side lane. When Srtty had the advantage on Camille later on the game, you saw him like constantly shoving up to tier 2 and tier 3, and then like backing out whenever he saw like the people were collapsing on his end. Whereas whenever Gamsu was trying to play the side lane, it never felt like he was either given the opportunity, like either he wasn't calling for resources or he felt like he needed to help the team on the other side. So the first Baron call, which led into like the first ace for blue team, Gamsu actually had TP advantage. And normally with that lead, you'd want to be continue to split the other side, pressure them, and then
Yo,
take
guys,
the Baron.
please.
Take the Baron when the enemy is forced to kind of deal with this Renekton. But instead, he opted to group and then start the Baron, which kind of turned the entire game around. So I think highlighting the difference between how Gamsu plays the game and how he uses his advantage to help the team versus how Srtty kind of creates his own side lane like advantage lead by split pushing is also kind of a key difference in how the two top laners play the game.
I think it's really interesting to see the difference with CptShrimps being off of those moving mid laners. It definitely felt like his side lanes, even though Sketchdreams and Breezy were able to generate advantage, it never felt like they could connect that advantage with Shrimps. So in terms of next game, I'm looking to see whether or not they're going to look to blind the TF in the first three, or they're going to pick him a more mobile mover. Obviously, Akali is extremely mobile, but in the game, she wasn't really able to generate her own moves. So either he's more self-sufficient or Breezy comes to unlock him. But I really like to see involving him more into their plays off of TF.
A little bit more like we had in that game number 1, right? Again, Shrimps is up 2-0 in the series, but definitely more convincing in that first game. Not that he had a bad performance on Akali. I think even you, Dias, noted that he was kind of quietly keeping himself prepared for a lot of the big plays in the later stages.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really curious to see what the adaptation is like for a team. I mean, if you're imagining this is like a best of 5 and you're down 2-0, a team can either kind of go back to comfort and do that, or they can pull out something really crazy. I know, like the teams that I've been on, it really just comes down to the character of the players that you have in terms of what you want to do. Like, we've been down and about to lose a game, and that's when like someone like Broken Blade is like, give me Callista top, we'll play Callista Rec side, top side, or something like that. And so, and there's been times on the other side where we've been kind of in a championship match and we're like, don't worry, we just need to pick Syndra, Lee Sin 1-2. It's our comfort, and we're gonna get an advantage and win that way. And so I am really curious to see like what they do decide to bring out for this team. But I think regardless of what they do, I think Strompest is like the key member that they need to focus on. He's been having like a really standout performance in the first 2 games, and just giving him agency and again making sure that the mid jungle is strong is, I think, the way forward for them.
And I'm glad that you mentioned that because it's the same thing for the enemy team. Not necessarily the mid jungle needing to carry the game, but having the mid jungle be able to translate the pressure to either side. Because I believe that Srtty and Sketchdreams, alongside Breezy, have been playing really well in comparison to their counterparts. Not saying that Gamsu and Shorthop and Trevor have been playing poorly, but as you can tell from the gameplay, right, there's definitely differences there that we can accelerate through having a stronger mid civ too. So if both teams are going to draft for it, whoever plays around mid is going to get in the lead. And, you know, mid lane's OP. What can I say?
Seems like it is this time every year, right? So it doesn't matter how it starts. If we got 200 years of Felios back a couple years ago, or it's all about the 80 Carol, always ends up being about that mid lane, doesn't it? But we have heard your calls for the adaptations. We do have 1 game left in the series, so we are going to throw it to a short break, but stick around for the conclusion of day 3 of the amateur arena as the Stromps try to take at least 1 game from the Shrimps, hopefully again behind their mid lane carry there in Strompest. We'll be right back.
right. Karthus
Shrimps are
ban.
Karthus ban. Shrimps are back on red side.
From what I've seen in these past 2 series, I think that Shrimps is definitely more favored on the red side, so that they could get either a counter pick for him or
Yeah.
a counter pick for top lane. I mean, it's really easy for them to blind like a mobile map centric mid laner on 3 if they want to and ban out counters. So I'm interested to see what goes on. The Jace ban is new, right?
It's new early on. They banned it second phase the last game.
Okay. Ah, Vex ban. Kind of sad that we haven't gone to see this champion yet, but it's fine. I don't really think she's in a position where you can just pick her first 3 though, right?
I have no idea.
I have no idea. I shouldn't say that out loud. I
Vex
have
and
no idea.
Akshan, I have no idea.
The Draven ban again.
Assume Yumi goes through. Oh, maybe they don't. Last time Yumi went fully through, right?
Yeah, she did. Let's see this first pick here. What did Strompest's team first pick last time? I think it was.
It was MF.
MF.
Yeah, and then Shrib's team took Draven the first game. Yeah, so it's the same so far.
Okay.
This time Draven's down.
Interested to see what they opt into this time. The Graves flex into
Graves back.
Ezreal. I usually see like Lucian, Draven, Ezreal. Then after that, people start opting into some of the mages, like Ziggs. I've seen some Seraphine before. I'm not too good. I'm not sure how good that one is, to be honest. But
Honestly,
I'll see the
I I personally think Ashe is better with Graves than a lot of the Nazi, especially if we're gonna go Braum again.
Yeah.
Like Ashe Braum Graves is like a very solid combo later on.
We'll see.
I wonder if he goes jungle now, because ooh,
Oh,
it's this. Oh, never
no.
mind.
Oh, that's so. We were both so excited.
Okay. I wonder
Oh,
if they're
it's
just
Ezreal.
I wonder if they're just like predicting the Charvin pick.
I think that might be the case, to be honest with you. I can see it. I mean, Thresh is still on the table too.
You can't play. I don't think you can play Ezreal with Thresh.
No, like an Ashe Thresh, right? If they wanted to.
Oh yeah. But then you like don't really have any front line with your Graves, assuming this Graves is top.
Yeah,
So
it
I
makes it a
mean,
bit awkward.
if they go like, right, yeah, it depends.
I wonder if they're gonna go the MF for Con Jarvan. This is like the amateur collegiate slayer. This
Really?
core just slays every team. I would know because I pick this core all the time.
Yeah.
Like, because the thing about amateur collegiate that I've noticed is that they're always really disrespectful on mid lane, right?
Oh, Strompest with the early rise.
Oh, he wants to win this time. I can feel it.
Actually, this scary. Oh, please take Braum. Please don't take Karma here.
Oh no.
Unless it's No, you can't play Karma mid against Rise either.
Leona.
Yeah, Leona's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah, it's just if I see the draft and I log into Graves Ezreal Karma 123, I'm just dying a little bit on the inside. It's like definitely like a good scrim comp, but Sage comp is not as great.
Mhm.
Any chance you
period.
think Graves goes jungle? Is definitely top.
I think there's a chance it goes jungle this time, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like City Witty is like always been considered like a carry jungle player. So I can just imagine the comments right now. They're just screaming at each other. I want Graves this game. Give it to me. Yo, by the way, Shrimps, you're gonna need to pick your mid later. I don't care. We're holding this flex till the end.
Where are
And
Shrimps playing to Rise though?
I think he's gonna pick like something like Sidra or Oriana, to be completely honest with you. I'm kind of surprised by the TF ban. Like usually you want the Rise into the TF, but I guess it's just because they don't want to match global v global.
And I just want them to go Camille Gallia one game. I want to see
This
the
is the
combo.
game.
Yeah, but I guess not.
Zoe.
That's not
I wonder
bad.
if
I mean, they're gonna have a lot of range. Zoe Graves is also good mid jungle if they want to play that.
Oh.
Oh,
The Galio is here.
let's go.
Oh,
mean-
and Camille is open. It's open.
Yeah, I mean, now it's either Strom's team takes Camille to take it away, but then I assume they just go Jax to counter, which is still really good. Oh no,
No,
that is
please.
a tragedy if you go Gnar here.
Gamsu. I was thinking maybe they would just lock in a Camille counter and just say, okay, this is what we're gonna do, but he just locked in Gnar.
Yeah, I was hoping they'd just go like Shen, or I don't even know. They would go as a blind here.
Was that the Academy guys behind you? Or like the amateur guys behind you? I just saw someone look at it.
I'm not sure.
Kane.
The Kane locked in. Ooh. Wait, this is special, right? Oh no, that's
Yeah, this
never
is
mind.
this is Matty.
LeenK plays this a lot, so does Matty play Kane?
I don't think he's played a competitive game of Kane before. I don't recall it. Come on, don't hover these champions. Just lock into Camille. The Vayne. The Riven. There we go. And then it's the Graves jungle.
Yeah. No, it's good. It's solid 2v2 combo with Graves and Galio, because one brings CC for the other. No, I think this is like a pretty good, well-rounded combo on the red side.
Yeah,
I
this is
think
exactly what we were asking for too, right?
Yeah, I think blue side is I mean, they still have advantages for sure. I think in lane, bot lane should be fine. I think I've heard the Gnar Camille matchup on both sides. Obviously, Camille bids later on, but if you're Gnar, you can abuse it early. It's pretty good, and they do have like a decent amount of melee champs for Kane. So I'm excited to see how this plays out. But I definitely think that later on, Shrimp's team has like a pretty decent advantage. I was surprised they banned Irelia. I guess they just really they were gonna blind Gnar anyway.
I think they
but
were afraid that they were gonna take Irelia on 4, match it into the Rise, flex Graves top, and pick like some random AV jungler.
I see.
But I don't think CptShrimps is really known for his Irelia
Is
play.
Shrimps an Irelia player? Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Because I was like, when I think of CptShrimps, I think mostly like TF, Galio, Rumble, things like that.
Back when Karma was still good Karma.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I look at left side team comp and I just think the same thing I thought game 1 for Shrimps' team, where they picked a lot of comfort stuff, right?
Mhm.
Well, not necessarily comfort, but like champions where they kind of need to win lane or generate an early game advantage, or it's going to become really, really hard. So I want to see what Gamsu does with his early lane priority, and I want to see what Strompest does in the mid to late, because I've seen him 1v9 way too many games on this champion.
Yeah, I mean, this is the Strompest champion, right? Anyway, I'm excited to get into the game.
Mm-hmm. We're done. Are we allowed to talk?
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Esports AOE's Amateur Arena. I am your play-by-play caster, Zephyr, joined, of course, by the lovely Color Axeman here, as you guys are about to watch our third and final game of the night here. And I'll tell you what, if you've missed out, Shrimps have been on a landslide.
They really have. What's up, guys? Saxman87 and Shrimps pushing in now for the early invade. Just a dominant performance so far in this series, this block of 3, and this third game starting out much the same way. Srtty maybe caught out, should be able to get out of there. But yeah, that invade's actually canceled. They're actually going to try and rotate up, see if they can get some kind of pinch going on here. Srtty?
He's got the repel, but straight into the grand entrance there. One more auto to secure the job. Strompest at the expense almost of his life there, but still able to find that one. So a nice chunk of change to start out the game with.
You like to see it, CptShrimps, like, man, come on. Start off this game with Strompest having a kill up on me. It's been a rough series so far for CptShrimps dealing with Strompest. I mean, Strompest has just been massive all series long. CptShrimps, yeah, he's doing really well, but this is a rough lane for him. Rough one. So Predator Galio should be a little bit better, has more roam potential. Kind of reminds me back of the Twisted Fate pick.
Yeah, absolutely. Giving him more rotations around the map, that's something that CptShrimps tends to excel at, and the Akali wasn't really showing us that kind of play potential, being able to have that level of rotation or ease of access essentially, and so was punished out very, very early on. We got to see Strompest kind of take control of the map very, very early, 4-0 I believe in game 2.
You really did here. This has probably been, well, I did this last game. Wait to see if they engage before I call this a slow lane down bot side. Wait for him to get level 2 here. Yeah, no, I think we're good. So a little bit slower this go around. You have the Ezreal trying to scale up a little bit more, and Breezy on Leon is trying to get out of this lane, try to help mid and top with those roams. Ooh, Gamsu.
I was about to say, Gamsu, good on the transformation, but a trade is well returned there, but maybe not. A nice boulder into a stun here to continue the pressure. Gonna be slowed to a little bit of a halt there for some time, but I like it. The trade's looking much better here now. Once again, this is still a difficult lane for him as it continues to go on, especially since we're talking about Srtty's Camille here. We got to see it really take off here in game 2, and it was one of the major picks that kind of put Strompest on the back foot as the game went on later and later here. So right now, maybe it looks kind of spicy here for Gamsu, but I don't know how long that will last. For now, though, Matty here with the rotation through the backside, a little bit too far forward. The repel, very nice, but a good stun flash forward to prevent him from making his escape. But Matty, my gosh, looking so low there. Yes, if it was not for that cancel, he would have been all but said and done. But no, it's actually just LeenK with the rotation, so pulls that flash 1 for 1.
LeenK looking fancy with the right clicks there. Yeah, the right clicks are coming back. But yeah, that teleport got canceled up. Ooh, hook shot now. Gamsu maybe in trouble.
Nah, he's okay. He's okay. Doesn't even have to blow the flash.
He's just a little gnar. It feels so bad, but yeah, I'd imagine CptShrimps teleport getting canceled by the rune prison. I don't know what else could have done it. So that's just him getting rooted up there. Yeah, he was saying.
There it is.
Oh, okay.
Finally, that Zenith Blade. They go deep. I like the grand entrance. Now the follow-up with the teleport. They're going to try to work their way forward. Sketchdreams goes deep before he goes back, and it's going to be punished out. Really tried to land that last necessary auto on Kyle there. So it was risky. It was big moves, and if it's game 3, you might as well try them.
Sometimes you got to fight your way out, and you can't retreat backwards. But I don't know if that was one of those cases. That arcane shift forward is pretty aggressive. You're arcane shifting forward into a full cannon wave too, so lots of damage taken just from the minions alone. Maybe in like 100, couple hundred, you know, something like that. But yeah, you're also taking damage there from the Rakan, and then Strompest shows up on the rise there too. It's just not enough room for Sketchdreams to be able to get that play down. Gamsu onto Srtty. Okay.
Should be fine. I don't think
fine. Should be
okay.
okay.
I was going to say, as it's going on Larry, he's not really having that much of a kill potential at any given point here.
I knew Sketchdreams had a Sketchdreams account. I knew he played that in game 1. I was like, wait, what is this other account? But yeah, he played on a different account in game 2.
What, you
right?
don't
I'm not
you don't want to
crazy,
see GHGGG?
No, hey man, I love GG or whatever the letters were.
GGGHG DGASL?
Yeah, yes,
Yeah.
that one.
Ooh.
Srtty, come on now.
There's
No.
the gun entrance, finds that knock up. Now Srtty walks his way out. Appropriately here is Captain here, finds the double taunt. Very nice. LeenK be able to swing his way forward here, unable to find the blast that he wants. And now it's Matty cleaning this one up. That first kill works its way over to Strompest. Breezy with the response here, unable to find the Zenith blade, but gonna be doing a good job to body block this one out. I like this realm warp from Strompest. Doesn't quite take it, and as a result, not quite going to catch out Shrimp anytime soon there. But still, the pickup, LeenK to push Strompest now 3-0 up.
Just massive on the rise so far. Shrimps has to stay in this lane too. Might get dove here.
Oh, he dodged it. Grand entrance is a good
He's
triple
gaming.
taunt. Oh, and LeenK for the cleanup. Trevor here, he's already used the dash. No. Nah, my apologies. He's already used the grand entrance. The dash is what saves him there in the end. So they're able to walk out scot-free picking that one up.
Both teams pushing each other's buttons, trying to get the pressure through. You see Srtty keeps walking up, man. Just taking so much poke, but he finally gets to level 6. Huge tool for him here on the anti-dive. Gets you a couple of frames of invulnerability if you're into fighting games, Zephyr. Yeah, you like
I don't personally
like
think
that?
that's how quite
Like that reference?
Is
That's
it
a good
really
reference.
that's not a reference. That's just a game. That's just what do you mean it's a reference?
a reference to another genre of games. It's a fighting game.
Someone told you this is how you have to amp up your casting. Now you're just playing with it.
You gotta reference other game types.
Yeah.
Gamers love that. Card games, fighting games, get them all in there.
You know how Joshi makes references to chess all the time? That's what you're trying to do.
Oh man, don't say that. Nah, dang it. Hey,
Ooh,
I'll tell you what,
Strompest
though.
here. Good clear. Looking for the field goal. Oh,
Yeah,
fantastic.
Strompest has got Exodia. I'm telling you what, it's all coming together now.
I told you I remembered Pod Agreed.
Agreed, man. Srtty pushing it top side. He's trying to claw his way back in this lane, but I don't know. It feels super bad. Definitely a different energy than game 2. Maybe.
Well, hold on.
maybe-
Is it really a different energy? That Renekton was pummeling in terms of damage here for the majority of that early game. And yes, while Srtty picked up those kills, it definitely stunted his aggression. Speaking of aggression here, though, Matty looking to kind of capitalize there. He's able to punish out LeenK for just a little bit longer there, but maybe that dominance will give them the assertion that they need to really take what is this Rift hero. Meanwhile, Trevor waiting in the side lanes.
I think Strompest Syndra did more to like roam top in game 2 and had more big plays up there in game 2. I think he's still having a lot of nice roam plays and good, map rotation, but it's happening a lot more around the mid lane and around the bottom side of the map here. But
Come on, Breezy, walk that one out as much as you can. But no, it's actually the
what?
Zenith in, trying to play off of Sketchdreams maybe. But no, they've got LeenK there as well. They're going to clear this one out, but you got to be wary. Matty's on the side, so a pinch waiting to ensue with Strompest as well.
Wow.
I love this bullet time, and with the Realm Warp right on the back end there, Matty dashing forward. They're going to throw the Umbral Trespass directly into LeenK, and a big taunt, though, with response as Sketchdreams picks this one up. Now the damage ensuing as the poke continues. A great collateral damage. Going to take Trevor low as Sketchdreams and the like continue to assume forward. Ooh, unable to find the burst, but the presence still there.
yeah, checkmate there, Zephyr. I'll stop. Look at the push.
I was about to say, I didn't even find that one. That one just sounded natural.
No, it was natural, right? Yeah.
Again,
You gotta
so
weave him
it's
in.
starting
You
to
gotta
work
weave
it.
him in. Yeah, he's getting the plating up now. Oh, LeenK. Oh no. Strompest found him. Oh,
Yeah,
now
Strompest, I was gonna say Strompest might have found him, but he didn't find a kill. So now he's gonna be punished for making that level of aggressive play. A big taunt for the collapse here. It's actually LeenK who swoops in to pick that one up in there. So maybe a little bit of revenge.
Yeah, I bet you that one feels good. Anytime LeenK can get a kill on Strompest at this point, it's just pure therapy, right?
Man, after
Hey,
that Syndra game, you know what? I would be that way too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. No, it's free for him there. But getting that kill down. Does not end up taking this dragon, so they do inhibit their ability to pick up the objective, but yeah, it's going to be going down here in just a little bit. Not too much vision from either side around the area. You got a lot of blue wards. Yeah, that was a sentence. Down around the bottom side jungle. Are those blue wards? Is that what they are?
Blue wards?
I can't see what they are. There's something on the map that looks like they're Farsight alteration? Something. Yeah. You know what I'm saying.
I understand completely.
They're all down there in the bot side and they provide vision. Just take it, Trevor. I don't want it. Take it away. Take it away.
Look at that, a little bit of a collapse here. Shrimp with big double taunt there, even before the leap from Gamsu. But Strompest on this side, looking to punch this one out. I love the rune prison here on the LeenK. He's able to dash over the wall, but it's going to be right into the likes there of Strompest on his own follow-up with his flash there. So one big kill as, Breezy here. Fronting out, going to be punished with a big grand entrance into his own rune prism. The Winds of Fury going to be pumping out muff damage on their own as Srtty's going to be forced to repel as well. So now the wave crashes and plates to be assumed as, wait, maybe not. Will be looking to work their way around this one. Ooh, Sketchdreams in his own fight here, 1v1, easily able to burst out what is Kyle there. No surprise.
Yeah, not at all. I mean, even blew one of those autos on the control where those dropped there and still killed him easily. So a little bit of a gap down here between these two AD carries. The Ezreal looking super strong. There have been some clutch bullet times from... no, they'll be fine. From Kyle over the course of this game. But, yeah, you could just chalk it up to the CS difference. He's got the Mythic completed. He's about to take this first turret, pre-14. It's looking good for Sketchdreams once again in this series.
Yeah, absolutely here. I gotta say, big props there over to the side of Strompest. They were able to push out that top side and pull out the first turret of the game. Now Sketchdreams on his own regard, though, able to pick up a huge chunk of gold there. So now even further accelerate. He sits on, yes, that 10 CS, but also the assumed plating as well from having that complete dominance in his own lane. So yeah, in terms of comparison, the gold a little bit more spread out for the Stromp side, where Shrimps really putting it dive deep into their own carry.
Certainly there. Now Stromp's looking to push down the mid lane. Looking to get some of the play off of that. Yeah, no wave for them. They're going to dive the turret. And they're going to kill CptShrimps before he resets. No, they're still trying to get the platings off of these turrets. We're still pre-14 here. They got about another minute. And I think they're going to get a couple more off this bot lane turret.
That's what Kyle's absolutely trying to do there. Clear that one out, pump out a little bit more of a gold infusion to himself, but I like that. Nice clear from the side. True shot barrage, Sketchdreams all the way up there from the mid lane. Meanwhile, Trevor might be caught out here. One quick stun. Gonna slow this one out into the Zenith Blade. Big solar there as LeenK picks up another kill for himself. So stunted early, now punishing this one out. And I love this. Sketchdreams now. The poke become the poke. Strompest doesn't really get some freedom anymore on this Galio.
Really does not. Trevor Roy just gets the kitchen sink thrown at him there. I think like 2 or 3 ultimates, something like that. Definitely absorbed the solar flare. That sucks. Oh, big ball time over the wall to clear the wave. That'll do it. That'll prevent them from getting those plates. Yeah.
Enough to prevent at least the one plate to prevent there for my apologies, Sketchdreams, assuming even more additional gold here. We see those resets coming through big from the side Shrimps. Hilarious. This would be the great time for Shrimps to go, but they don't have that kind of dramatic irony building their decision making. That's only stuff that's available to us sitting here with our full wide map coverage.
Yeah, we couldn't afford script writers, so
you're right.
They are actually just playing League of Legends here. So it's unfortunate, but sometimes that's the way it has to be. CptShrimps trying to walk out, gets a big taunt.
That's a very nice taunt.
Punches his way out. Good stuff from there. No dragons up, no barons up for a while. You know what that means. It's your MasterCard lull state. That'd be good though. You think we could swing that? Someone get Riley.
Absolutely. Knowing Riley Moneybags up there, he could make it happen.
Yeah. Get him on the phone. Get that started. Rift Herald is spawned.
Yes, either way, Rift spawn, a bit of control down. Once again, mid presence here held out from these bot laners. You see a shift for Shrimps as he pushes in the bot lane, going to be catching it directly right into the face there of Gamsu, but that enables Camille here, and she's going to be actually, for the first time, actually playing into Strompest here, which I don't know how well that one's going to work out in that regard, but I think it's definitely a little bit better than trying to shove CptShrimps in there. Ooh. Trevor, big the quickness, double taunt there. Going to be chunky this one out. I love the Emerald Trespass on the LeenK there. Sketchdreams going to be forced to flash roll as Breezy gets his own taunt, the big stun to secure the response kill, but it's at the expense, of course, at CptShrimp's life here. Now Sketchdreams walking his way back into this one. Strompest, he turns his attentions, of course, onto Breezy. He's going to easily pick up that kill there, but Sketchdreams still is out for blood. I love this bullet time, but right off of the edge, it doesn't matter. A beautiful flash over the wall there from Kyle to keep the job flowing. Either way, full team ace, even in the face of someone like Srtty, who went over the wall there to pick off Trevor.
Great stuff. They're going to get a Rift Herald off of that play and maybe swing that into a Dragon here as well. Something we haven't really talked about too much is Matty on this Kane. I think he might have form if we can get a shot at him. There's no other way to check, and I hate that about Kane, but there he is. Yeah, he's Ross. Of course he is. He's got, you know, the Gore Drinker, he's got Conqueror, so yeah, nice. He's red.
And we also need a little bit more of a front here. You've got plenty of damage to work with here on the Stromp side, and actually, there are a bit of some big boys across the board there. I even consider Rise something more prevalent as the game continues to go on, but other than that, nothing too crazy. The Shrimps here not quite able to get the grasp that they want and continuing to enable stuff like Strompest and haven't really been able to find what is that bounty or make a great advantage as it stands yet. So Dragon coming up here, maybe this will be the next point of contest that we might see some kills play through.
Like to see it there. Drag up in 15. Neither side really too heavy on the Dragons. The majority of the series, to be honest, we've been seeing some late souls when we do see them, and I think we've only seen one so far. Don't double check. No. Yeah, they're rotating over to the bottom side. This one's going to be free for Stromps. Like to see them have this level of objective control. Oh, that ult's going to go out. That was close. Yeah, I almost got it.
Barely. Almost stalled that one out. So for the first time ever, I believe that is a 1-2 Dragon on the back end here, and Shrimp's not quite assuming what is complete dominance over the Dragons in this early game, which definitely gives you a bigger idea of what they're kind of losing out on this time around. So Rift down, this turret more than likely about to crash and fall.
Like to see that. The mid turret goes down. Top side, you get Srtty pushing in a big way. Gonna be able to trade back.
That's tier 2.
Yeah, top tier 2 turret. That's a pretty nice trade for a mid outer.
Get out.
Yeah.
However, this is the bigger question.
This is pre 20 minutes.
Oh, maybe not. Big blast cone straight into the grand entrance. I like the use of the Hextech ultimate to kind of get out of that bullet time, but it isn't quite long enough to secure that. So Stromp is picking up another kill on this Rise. Meanwhile, we've got Gamsu and Matty on the rotation. You're straight into Breezy, and that's that heroic entrance that we've been waiting for. Doesn't quite find the knockup, but it's going to get the taunt necessary to shut down Matty here. Gamsu continuing his assault forward as Sketchdreams, maybe the next target to go. A great dash grand entrance as it is into the pocket here of this Gnar for another one. Collateral damage going to push back LeenK, but it's also going to prevent them from going that much deeper.
He's got the double buffs. Whew, dodges. The Q there from the Gnar. I like to see it, but looking forward towards this game, you see the reset coming out from CptShrimps, hopefully able to complete that item. Been seeing him try to get this mythic for quite a while now, and he's kind of, you know, just cashing these welfare checks over and over again. Yeah, with the mid lane Galio. You give up a lot of kills to your carries. You give up a lot of priority to them, and a lot of resources.
Rotate to a separate lane.
Yeah, you try and do your best. And
you hide from Strompest.
You don't get the CS or anything like that, so it kind of leaves you here with no mythic. There he goes with the Everfrost. Good stuff.
Well, for now here, I like this. Continuing to assert dominance and control. Shrimps trying to work their way back into the vision game of all things, but I will say Stromp's doing a great job in their own regard to try to keep that up as well. You see how they got the lower half here of the red side also in great clearance, and that's actually what's going to allow them to take advantage of this engage here right onto Srtty. So into the wall he goes, but a good gnar to push him back. So Gamsu easily awarded what is a great kill there.
It's a nice one there, and like to see Matty with the assist on that one. Continues to get bigger here on this Kane. It's gonna be nice to get Matty up to that point. He's frontlining, but he's also one of the champions that has really nice access onto the Ezreal. And you like to see that. I mean, Sketchdreams has been super slippery. This whole series long has had great team fight positioning. And Ezreal, of course, with the arcane shift, easy to get away. He's got a lot of range in there too.
Oh yeah.
So Matty's gonna be able to get on top of him here.
Yeah, Matty continually actually having the opportunity, and I will say that is one of the better things that I have seen come out of Matty and evolve over the course of this series. We went from that Lilia game 1 that didn't really have much of an impact to the switch up onto the Jarvan, which, while still falling short in the very, very end, was the major keystone that really shut down Sketchdreams time and time again. Now sitting on this Kane, Ross form enabled, tanky enough to work his way into the back and able to pump out what is that Emerald Trespass at any given moment. Definitely making an impact this time around.
Here we go now. Both sides looking for the Baron, looking to sweep out the vision. Trevor actually sweep around the bottom side here. Yeah, I'm not 100%. Trevor looks like he's pushed up a little bit far.
And a little bit far,
Yeah,
but it is a good Zenith. I like the stun response there. Srtty's on the back end, but a Solar Flare not quite hitting the mark when necessary. Reminder, that is a huge window to be down and out here. So if they want to look for an engage, it would be now. You see those pings. Sketchdreams in his own regard trying to clear out this midway before it crashes out here. Looking like no one gets caught out, but they're going to lose a hefty amount of control of this blue side. And with Dragon spawning in the next 30, that's not something you really want to see.
Yeah, I like to push out these waves before you go for objectives. It gives you a lot bigger rewards if you're able to get them, but it also kind of creates problems for the enemy team where suddenly if you lose this team fight, you lose the entire game.
Oh my
4v1, LeenK just gets ganked.
Too far, too deep there, trying to counter this one out and punished as a result. So no jungler available. More than likely this Infernal going to stack here onto the Strompest side, and I really wouldn't expect any kind of contest knowing that they don't have the jungle. So think about that. Extra damage more available here to play into the face of some heavy poke like Kyle, as well as Strompest becoming that much more of a burst, a kiting carry, a god in the Rune War.
For sure, you like to see Rise get into the side lane here just a little bit. I think he's pathing up top lane to try and catch that wave and push it out. Ooh, looks like they're going to give him blue too. Yeah, Strompest, he's the hyper carry on this team. The big dog. If they're going to win a game this series, it's going to be off of him.
Yeah, absolutely. He's continually assumed a lot better strength this time around. We talked about how he's kind of 4-0, 4-1 coming out of game 2. Currently, he's unparalleled in comparison, and I will say the Syndra looked absolutely daunting here, but you have to remember, this is one of Strompest's best picks. He's getting serious. He's putting pedal to the metal down with his Rise, and usually you can capitalize on a little bit of the weakness, that immobility in the early game before the Realm Warp, before he really gets that kiting potential. At this point, mid-late, starting to get the real scaling on board, sitting what is the absurd gold advantage available. It's tough for the Shrimps.
Is feeling a little bit harder, that's for sure. Wave finally pushed out by Rise, taking the reset. Oh, here's entrance.
Yeah, not quite hitting the mark though, as Strompest now coming in with the TP. I love the Everfrost response into just chunks coming out here. A massive double off of the TP, and that's your two biggest engage tools gone.
Yeah, and you're thinking, okay, 2 bot. Maybe we rotate up, try and take Baron. There's just no opportunity.
Here's maybe response. You see that Solar Flare down, straight on the Strompest, collateral as well, but the damage, it just pales in comparison here, Axe. And now, you've got Gamsu over the wall here and deep in the back. I love the bullet time. Rip and tear. Sketchdreams down. LeenK forced to flash, but Matty's quick to follow up here.
There we
Breeze
go.
on Leona running away deep into the bush. A grand entrance to follow and more to fall here as Strompest haven't looked this good all night.
No, they have not, but they're looking good now and looking to get this Baron down. Looking to get some more towers destroyed as well with this. They've been kind of behind on that for a while now. Looking to get that. I'm trying to see if they can steal. I think they maybe can.
I don't know about
Shrimps?
steal.
Yeah, I don't know if he's not gonna have much there. Not much to
No,
do there.
I was gonna say if LeenK was around, maybe I would talk about a little steal, but no, that's more than secured there, and I think it's well garnered there. You talk about getting those first 2 kills respectively onto both Srtty and CptShrimps and then turning around for the full 3-man. That's as good as it gets for a Baron take.
I would say so, yeah. As safe as it gets there too, but Kyle pushing out now. Kyle been huge for his team. This is probably his best game of the series so far.
I would say this is some of the best games out of almost all of these players coming in this. They have not looked as clean or as indomitable here, and the level of aggression out of Shrimps that we're kind of used to, not really having that level of access. I don't feel like they've got the bite out of this comp that we saw in games 1 and 2, and so they're kind of paying the price for not really having that go button anymore.
Yeah, I would agree. I think that Ezreal's been not as good for Sketchdreams as the Draven was, certainly. The Draven was wild.
The Draven was kind of crazy.
The Draven was kind of crazy, yeah. Oh, here's entrance, comes through, Srtty.
Just to kind of save the day, but remember that's
trying to get
one member
Strompest.
gone. And you don't want to see your members as split as they are as the base continues to fall here. It's going to be the inhib down, and I'll tell you what, Ezreal ain't that good at clearing, so rotation to come through here. They're going to try to crash this wave and look for the next bot tier 2.
And this is the thing with Ryze, right? You want to put him in the side lane, and even though Shrimps spend 2 members down there trying to get the kill on him, they just can't. It would take too long for him, even if they could. They spend ults trying to kill him, just not able to do it.
At this point, there's little to do. This is what we talk about when you get to that kind of kite potential, that little bit of tanky, that little bit of beefiness I talk about on this Ryze carry. So it's already at that given point. So the net pull trigger, it's got to be as precise as it gets if you really want to take him out. And so far, Shrimps have come up short every time.
It's a 9k gold lead between these 2 teams.
Probably the largest one we've seen.
That is definitely the largest one we've seen. Looking a little doomed. Oh, big ultimate.
Huge ultimate to follow another one for 2 now. A double in the hands here of Kyle. So they work their way forward. I love that. A big cleanse already expended right in the face of that solar flare, so they can continue walking this one forward. And a true shot barrage, a little bit of poke here or there. It's nothing in the face of the absolute sheer dominance here from the Stromp. So after a night of constant defeat, they're able to work their way back into finally a game 3 winning series here.
You love to see it for Strompest fans out there. I know there's lots of you.
The Strompest fans that arrived here at the beginning of the night and have now been here.
Yeah, you can pick up your Strompest merch at AOE.com. You can't do that. But no, I'm 100%. Very excited about all the players we saw here tonight, as we saw the Strompest able to take it back to them in game 3. And this was a pretty close series. I'd like to see these teams like a best of 5 or something. I think it'd be really close.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you've got a lot of taste here, and you toss most of it up to the draft. Of course, I feel like this was one of the more weaker in terms of how this kind of. I know they're all Rams, they're not really a full team, but the kind of assertion of aggression that you enabled here onto the likes of people like Srtty or Sketchdreams at any given point, that really wasn't quite the same coming into game 3 here. So Strompest of regard, you saw the likes here of Gamsu as well here on this Gnar, also taking advantage of it. Just kind of slowly assuming those slight kills, picking up gold here and there, finally working their way into something that just you couldn't come back from.
Yeah, no, it was a snowball. Start to finish, their Strompest just took off. But love to see that, and love to see. I really like these amateur arena things. I think this is a really good idea.
Yeah,
this is a good idea. Trevor, we
right,
should do this more often.
All right, actually, I agree. We should do this more often. But for
You and
us,
me,
we're going
buddy.
to toss this one back to the AD. I believe we might have an interview after this, but for now, we're going to get some last takes here from Parth, Deus, and the like, as well as DJ, our host. So take it away.
Please.
Call. Welcome back to the analyst desk for the final time of the evening after Team Strompest was able to get a win over Team Shrimps. Finally, they will end the series with a 1-2 scoreline. And Parth and Deus once again here with me on the analyst desk to break down what did happen. So let's focus up on how the early game went once again. I know we had more changes and a little bit of a different play from blue side with this Kane pick for Matty. How'd you feel it went for him, Parth?
Uh, it actually, I don't think it had as much to do with the Kane. But I think it's more so the blue side having like a committed plan that they work together on. I really appreciate that a lot of the teams in across the series they've been trying different level ones, trying to get like some sort of advantage. And I think the level one they did where they cheesed the Camille by going around was really smart. And I hope a lot of other teams in amateur and academy kind of try to do more level ones. It just kind of makes yourself stronger instead of just five man pointing every game. And then I think they committed to focusing topside. I think they really went after Camille this game. And Strompest just got a few like very early kills that helped him snowball the game.
All right, same sentiments from you then, Dio. So let's take a look maybe at the other side of things and what was going well, at least a little bit for CptShrimps' team. You mentioned that top side this time around very much in favor of the blue side. Any shining lights once again for CptShrimps' team, even in defeat?
Well, in terms of shining lights, I think we can both agree that Sketchdreams was still playing really well. He was able to generate the advantage through ball lane. I think the main difference between this game and compared to the other games is that the blue side team, Strompest' team, was able to generate an even larger advantage topside, and you can attest some of that to Trevor. He just full left his lane. I don't think I ever saw him bot lane like after the initial 5 minutes, and he was just continuously showing presence on the map. And to me, it definitely felt like Sketchdreams' team should have been able to either pressure mid with Trevor showing top and being able to either die the misfortune or create a jungle advantage through taking camps. But outside of that, there was just a lot of, how should I explain this, adaptation from both teams. I just felt like in the third game, Sketchdreams' team wasn't able to adapt as quickly as Strompest' team in terms of how they wanted to transition their mid lane pressure and their bot lane pressure.
Yeah,
Adam?
I can kind of agree with that. I think Sketchdreams got a little bit of an advantage bot, and I think it kind of came to turn at the first, either first or second Herald fight. I forget which one it was, where they kind of all moved up. And then I think there was like an engage from blue side, and they ended up wiping and getting the Herald. I think that's kind of where the turning point was for the game. We still saw a lot of elements from Shrimp's team where you still saw the Camille like pushing out really deep, whereas you saw Gamsu being more conservative in terms of where he was pushing out, just because there was always the Camille and Gallia pressure looking to kind of jump down on him. But in this game, I think Strompest was just so strong that he could always just TP behind and wipe them regardless of what the situation was. So I think you saw some of the same elements play out for Shrimps' team. This time they just were a little too far behind to be able to kind of pull it out.
Gotcha. So adaptation was the name of the game then for Strompest' side and Shrimps' team. Similar things going on for them in game 3, but just a little bit too much. Strompest maybe just a little bit too strong in that game, Jeff. I know we talked about it a little bit in game 2 when he was on the Syndra, how much he was doing in the early game and how close he got. He finally pulls one out in this game 3. He's got to be feeling pretty good about that.
Mm-hmm. Actually, I have one question to you, Parth. If you could give like a piece of advice to some of the players, like what advice would you give them from what you've seen so far?
I mean, the most noticeable one that I've seen is just post Baron. I think often what players look to like, I think both first game and second game, you saw the teams that had Baron usually had players that kind of got picked off right after Baron, and it kind of slows down the push. Similarly, like you kind of try to extend too much in trying to get the tier 2, even though you can just take the advantages you can get and come back. So, and finally, I think this last game you saw after the team got Baron, you saw all of them push mid, whereas Rise was kind of going off to the side. And it's at some point like the two sides have to connect. So I think every team has a different way of looking at how to approach with Baron. Some teams really like to do split out into 3 lanes and then kind of time the waves by hitting the tower at the same time and then moving to the side that they aren't defending. Some teams really like to like group around Dragon or after getting Baron and then forcing that way. Obviously, a lot of it does depend on comms, but I think any amateur team or academy team kind of looking to up their game should really sit down and discuss like what roles they have after getting Baron, how they want to best push their advantage instead of just defaulting to like the normal lanes. So I think that would probably be like the most important piece.
Okay. I think
Great.
for sorry to cut you out, DJ.
No, I'd say great piece of advice from part of those. Just say, yeah, Dios, what would your piece of advice be?
I think for me, this one's a bit more player centric, but I'm not sure if the reason why Gamsu wasn't able to push in the lanes deep was because of him having to come help his team in the mid game, or whether or not it's him not calling for those resources. But I definitely think that finding those opportunities to utilize your lead and get that tempo advantage from being up a wave is really important to something for him to look at. And for Breezy, well, let's be honest. They were stopping volley in almost every single game. I just want to see him transition that lead more into the mid lane or the top lane from his timers off of base. I've seen him like consistently like come mid, set some vision, go back bottom, but I want to see him really generate that into something more, either blowing a mid lane flash and then setting up a play later, or even preventing a potential top dive or creating a top dive with his team.
Awesome. All right. Well, speaking of Breezy, we do have him in the wings for an interview. Before we wrap up the night here on the analyst desk, just want to thank you, Parth and Dios, again for joining me here on the desk. And do you have any final thoughts each to wrap up the evening?
On my end, I appreciate you guys kind of putting this together. I think it's a good showcase, especially in the off season when there aren't other events going on. So I'm happy to come on and help, and good luck with the rest of the week.
Yeah, me too. Really happy you guys reached out to me. Super awesome. I guess my final words would be if we had to name an MVP for both teams, I definitely think that MVP for team number 1 would be Strompest. And then number 2 would be for Sketchdreams. I want to see these guys continue to play more, showcase more of their talent on the broadcast, on whatever competitive circuit they're going to be a part of. And I want to see some more trash talk. You know, I want to see some more content around these guys. So maybe player backgrounds, player information, anything.
All right, more content is the call. We'll see what we can add as the week does go on. But thank you again, Parth. Thank you, Dios, for joining us here on the desk. And with that, we'll wrap it up here and we will throw it over to our casters for their interview with the aforementioned Breezy.
Thanks, DJ. And yeah, we do have Breezy here from Team Shrimps. Going to ask him a couple of questions here. And Breezy, thanks for doing the interview, man. I appreciate you doing this for us.
Of course. Thanks for hosting the event. It was good.
Yeah, it was a good event. And me and Zephyr are going to do it every week now, right?
I would absolutely hope so, but I would more be willing to see Breezy here every single week. So is that in your future? Just to start off, you're going to come back sometime?
Of course. I was bummed I missed out on last week, but this was good.
Okay.
Definitely. We got Breezy returning week on week. It's going to be good. You guys can show up next week and watch Breezy here. Breezy, you had one heck of a series with your AD in this series, Sketchdreams, and you did such a good job of like creating space for him to really play with his team fight positioning. What's going on in the comms for some of these engages when you're trying to create that space and trying to get him in a position where he can carry?
It's kind of nice actually with him. It seems like the comms are like two-way. It's like it's a two-way street there, so we're kind of on the same page. We've never played with each other before, but it felt really natural. Then we saw the same engage windows, and then in game 2 actually, when we were playing FLEO and he was like, I one creep from 6. So like as he was auditing the creep, I went in, he got his ulti, and then we one-shot them. And I was like, dang, we're pretty clean. We take those.
Yeah, that's
It felt
awesome.
good.
You get the frame
Yeah.
perfect synergy first time.
Yeah,
That's
it was
sick,
actually frame. It was actually frame perfect.
Yeah,
You
that's
know
awesome.
what? Yeah, you aren't on a team quite yet, but who knows? Maybe in your future, Breezy Sketchdreams to a bot lane
maybe,
near you.
maybe.
Yeah, put this duo
I don't know.
together, get him into proving grounds. Yeah, and then just to follow up, I guess you played with Sketchdreams. I think you were on Leona every game, right?
I played Leona. I played Leona games 2 and 3. Then the first game I played Braum.
Played Braum.
I
That's
had
right.
some. I was on Leona Braum duty. The good old support
Yeah.
classic.
Yeah, and then
It is what it is.
Sketchdreams was on a different AD every time. What did you think about the different synergies you had between you and Sketchdreams when it came to you and just the way
We
that
tried. We tried to just
Go
match
ahead,
up
sorry.
like good bot lane combos, and it seems like we were getting counterpick support for the first 2 games, so it felt free. And
Yeah.
I don't know, it was like we had a good game plan going in. We were like, oh, we're strong level 1. Let's just late invade, and they can't play bottom. So then we got 2 plates at 3 minutes. It was a bit of a bot kingdom, but it was good.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
So
no, the lane
taking-
was nuts.
Yeah, so taking kind of full level of advantage there. So I want to talk about it a little bit further, maybe just kind of stem the direction towards you, of course, because as a support, you have a lot of agency across the map, not only, of course, with the bot lane in the hands of someone like Sketchdream. So you went from Braum, you went to that Leona, you have all these tools available. What's it like, though? You're up against someone like Strompest, who holds Kingdom deep and heavy against someone like CptShrimps. How were you able to make an impact, trying to kind of find those rotations, trying to set up for those mid, even late game team fights when you had the opportunity?
Oh, it always feels nice if you want to play those champions. And Strompest played really well this series, but he's on really mobile mages, so everyone's spotlight is like, all right, we gotta kill Strompest, gotta kill Strompest, guys, gotta Camille Gallo Strompest, guys, kill Strompest.
Yeah.
So everyone just had really tunneled on him, which helped us. But we just used our side timings well, and yeah, it helped.
No
helped 'cause
problem.
yeah,
Just
no
easy.
problem.
Wow.
We don't talk about game 3 though. Game 3 was
Oh yeah, it didn't happen.
it didn't happen. But first 2 games, not bad.
As Breezy said coming into here, if it was a best of 3, all done already. 2-1, we already won it.
Yeah. Third one was just a for fun exhibition match,
Oh, okay.
I'm kidding. But yeah, it was
Well,
good.
Well, you're definitely making Deos a little bit more happy, throwing out some of that trash talk there that he was looking for.
Oh yeah.
We were thinking about playing the Yumi, but the first pick Yumi, but probably not the
Oof.
best idea.
Oh man.
Save
They're not
that for
ready
later
for it,
time.
Breezy. They're not ready.
We're not that sweaty for the wins. When we need a win, we'll whip out the Yumi.
Yeah, really. Yeah, had some real molders at the first big Yumi. That was hard to watch, but yeah, I think that's all we had for you, man. It was a good
Sweet.
interview, and thank you for playing the event once again. I know you said
Yeah, it was awesome. Thanks.
you liked it, and I think it's a pretty good idea, and hopefully we can do this again sometime. Is there anything
Yeah, I
else
think-
you have for him, Zephyr?
No, I mean, not particularly here if we want to close this one out. So, yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Breezy, once again. And, of course, from both me and Axeman, I believe we're going to just shove this one away on here as we wrap this one up. Of course, was your play-by-play caster. Axe, of course. Mr. Axeman87 was your color, and we were thankful to join you here on AOE Esports' Amateur Arena. So, thank you and good night to all. And we'll see you actually tomorrow, I believe, with another exhibition match.